last we left off, our heroes, or not really heroes, John, Noob, Solon, Norm, Gwen, and Basil, all showed up into the realm of Faerun, where we were brought into the city of Eldoria. From Eldoria, once we got introduced to the city, we were able to go visit the markets where we had a hellish moment with ourselves, hellacious moments together. From there, we were able to sing to get some distractions going to try and find the people that were following us. On the way there, we left because Basil left in distress. After he left, our group was attacked by those three people that were following us. We didn't really get a lot of information on them on the way there. Basil was attacked. Very quickly, the bandits were disbanded. So much so that we didn't even have to have a fight or roll for initiation or initiative. It's gonna be a long podcast.
That's Scientology.
From there, everybody was able to. Y'all were able to meet with the priest who talked to Sloan. Right, you're Sloan. No,
I'm Solon.
you're Solon.
Gwen.
Gwen. Gosh, I need to refresh.
You can say his full name if you
Yeah.
want.
And Gwenda Leper.
And Gwendolyn.
Where y'all were taken outside the city, and were able to sit in the forest and kind of recuperate, get a little bit of information on the story, on the town. Gwen was also able to kind of refocus and find his focus. Last we left off, because of that first encounter, everybody is now level 1. So all your stats that we have on there should be there as we are starting off this session. Do y'all have any questions before we get into this?
Nope.
Nope.
So far, so good.
And then also, John who got his memories back.
Yes.
That nobody cares that much.
Basically. Well, and even then, it's basic memories. I don't remember anything. I just remember, like, being proficient in swords and stuff.
He knows he can wash dishes.
Toilet paper makes more sense.
All of the memories come back. Just
You realize hands can swing weapons.
You now know how to use the 3 shells.
Yes.
doesn't understand why there's money floating around a slime.
Nobody gets that one.
Nobody knows this. Also, just a refresher, the priest's name is Mephilus. So and the god's name's Eldeth. Right. So, as we are waking the next day, the sun breaks through the top of the canopy of the forest. There's chirping all around, typical noises of a forest. The fire is still kind of crackling, finishing from the night before, as y'all ate the flesh of human and boar and humanoid, a mixed match of humanoid. But y'all are all waking. We're all waking up at different times. So go ahead and roll initiative to see when you wake up.
6. And then I had the +3, right? It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I got a 9.
21.
21.
20 not natural.
Dirty 20.
That would be a 15.
Okay, so Norm, you're first to wake up. As you come up from your, I don't know if it's even really a sleep for your race. I don't know really how they slumber, but you don't know if you go into a giant puddle and then reform.
I go like full oobleck instead of like turning into a puddle, I actually like harden into a rock.
Okay, so
I pull a Kirby.
okay, you become Kirby. So you starting to soften as the morning. You don't get hard in the morning. You soften in the morning.
Oh, yep.
You set it up.
You didn't mean to.
So as you soften in the morning and you look around, you do see some animals, birds, squirrels, just a few things close by. But you do notice that Mephiles is already up. He seems like he's actually packing his tent, putting some of his stuff away as y'all are still waking up.
I kind of look towards him and go, "Are you moving your domicile?"
Well, no, we are going into the city of Eldoria, and I have a feeling we will be in the heart of the city. We won't need this sitting out here for someone else to find.
Fair enough.
Yes. He goes back to putting his tents together. After a few seconds, Solon, you wake up, seeing kind of the same thing. He's rolling the tent up at this point as you're doing this.
Hey, Gwen, wake up. I need to make breakfast. Give me your bag.
Oh, well, good morning to you too. Here's my bag. Can't wait to see what you're gonna cook me. I see you dealing with some morning water over there.
As you say that, Mephiles looks and goes, "Oh, don't worry. The fire is still, the embers are still hot, so you should be able to get a rolling fire if you need it."
Always can. I go and I pull out a nice, juicy-looking hand and start just flopping right there on my skillet.
This hand is very human-like. It is one of the ape animals' hands, so there's a little bit of fur. And
I wanted to like is it one of the aged ones? Like I want to like have some like the malts juice. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
It has all the flavors.
all the oils have been like
Yeah.
nice and coming out.
Exactly. If it was in the ground, there would be worms, but it was preserved well in a bag.
Wonderful.
So what's around us right now?
So as you're looking around, y'all are in the middle of the woods. Last night it was a little bit harder to see, but there's oak trees all around. You can still feel a slight coastal breeze. There's oak trees and some pines and a few of these different, but there's a coastal breeze coming from the east as y'all are just right above the city of Eldoria. Just south below, you can kind of see y'all are on top of a slight hill. You kind of see the outskirts of the city itself, the Norwall, as Mephiles said the day before. So y'all are probably about less than half a mile away from, but y'all can see it's a pretty impoverished looking area. You can kind of see from where y'all are, and then you can see the giant wall on the south side of Norwall, kind of separating it from the rest of the city.
I think I'm gonna go and try to wake up Jonu. And because they mentioned something about breakfast, and I immediately don't want to eat what they're eating.
Yeah.
And so I walk up and I kind of gently pat him on the face because I don't know where it's the most available position, and I'm just Jonu, food.
I kind of, Johnu kind of, opens his eyes slowly, from kind of a deep sleep, and he's like, food? Yeah, what, we got stuff from last night still?
I slurped out a bag of berries. They are dry, but it's just...
I know the feeling.
For this
I think Johnu and Norm will eat those berries for breakfast instead of the human flesh.
As y'all start eating, Basil kind of just, his ears kind of start twitching. He pops up and kind of looks at everybody around, sees that y'all are all eating, and
Hey, Bun Bun.
hey, how's it going? He reaches into his bag and he pulls out some of this forage, some mushrooms and stuff that he foraged from the night before.
You know, that's very rude. I'm working very hard to cook everyone a nice meal this morning.
Norm turns on, like, just kind of immediately turns around and goes, I do not like humanoid.
Well, then bring me some ingredients and I'll cook it for you.
He shoots a berry at you.
Just one berry.
Oh, Basil.
It comes flying at you.
Basil sees it and he goes, I apologize. Let me grab some of my mushrooms. He brings them to you and sets the bag and he goes, if you don't mind, kind of keeping them separate from the monkey hand.
Does no one eat meat?
I do.
I do not.
I got you. You're the normal one here.
I refrain from humanoid.
Then bring me some animaloid.
Do we have any boar from last time still?
Yeah, y'all definitely still have some pork. Y'all blew it up. What pieces? I mean, it's ground.
cooked at the
It's
moment
ground
of death.
pork. The other-
It's not ground pork.
just needs to be
it's
plated.
sky pork.
it's
It just
everywhere.
fell like neatly chopped like loins and
Perfectly preserved.
landed on this pile of salt.
This is amazing.
John turns to Norm. Is like, hey, you got any of that boar in your
Another
essence?
another bag kind of slurps out and sits on the ground.
There you go. There's some non-humanoid meat for you.
Once again, if you could keep my mushrooms separate from the meat, I'd appreciate it.
Completely separate from the meat.
Yes, please.
You don't want any meat.
No, I don't eat meat at all.
What's wrong with you?
I just choose not to.
Whatever floats your carrot.
I believe the term
You have
is
some carrots?
vegetarian?
No, the vegetables are your responsibility from now on.
That's fine. I can forage everywhere we go.
He can provide the meat.
Y'all have fun with that.
He cannot provide.
We will provide our own portions of sustenance, thank you.
if you're willing,
Fine.
if you're willing to cook for everyone, that's fine. And if you ever need herbs, I can go when I do my forage to grab for you. I
If
can.
you could bring some herbs, that would be fantastic to cook your vegetable soup.
I wonder if that city has a mortuary we could visit before we leave. Stock up on supplies.
I'm
As
sure
you
they'll
say
sell
this,
some
Oh,
McBellis is like, oh, absolutely, they do have a mortuary and a grave.
Fantastic.
Well, grave digger.
Oh no! When I got my memory back,
Well, actually,
there was no mortuary. It got closed. Sorry. That's 100% true.
So canonically, they just the bodies just disappear. It's crazy.
I'm rolling an
This
inside
sounds
check
like a
on John
wonderful
Hill.
place.
okay.
And all you can eat.
That's a 16 total
What'd you roll for?
for insights. So you have to roll deception check.
That's
See if you can lie to me, because this is very important. This is ingredient gathering.
Nat 20.
Wasted on this.
It's like,
Darn, what kind of city doesn't have a mortuary?
Oh, it's crazy. It just disappeared one day. Just woo.
Must pile up their bodies somewhere. Maybe we can go look, see if there's a big pile of bodies somewhere.
yeah, like one of those big barbecue joints. I forgot what they call it.
Also,
The
I forgot to
crematorium.
mention for you, Janu, last night in your dreams, you had a woman calling out to you, and in the voice she also said, "Save us from ruin." This is going to be a reoccurring dream after every long rest. This is going to keep popping up, but that way I don't have to repeat myself.
Perfect. It's good to know.
What a nice DM. But you didn't see any vision of what she looks like. You that's all you got was her calling your name and said, "Save us from ruin."
Perfect.
As y'all are going through, eating y'all's delicious meals, well, I guess it would be delicious no matter what it is.
Oh, it's
Actually-
fantastic.
Roll. You got the stats for it now.
Hibachi perform. What do you want me to do?
Do you want a performance or
That's
do you
how
want...
I cook. I cook hibachi style.
Okay.
So
Yeah, let's
It's a-
see the
it's a show.
performance. It's a show every time you cook.
So this meal is hands on.
It's always hands on.
Oh yeah, I use my hands, like my
His hands on the hands.
fire resistance for the wind. Just
I'm like,
I believe the hands, you know.
and I'm just. This isn't very sanitary. This whisper to it.
Oh, okay. It's 22 total.
Oh, you put on a show, my friend. And I'm like, why didn't you use that last night? Like, you did some cheesy dancing, and you could have done this.
I'm sorry, there was no cooking grill or anything on the stage. I thought, you know, you started playing music when I was supposed to cook to your music.
Okay. I won't talk about my performance. I apologize.
You don't know where I'm from. You don't know what I've done.
I saw what you did last night.
It's very close.
Don't lie.
Thank you. Inside check those.
I love these children fingers. They're
So, are you telling
crunchy
me?
and tasty.
You're telling me their finger licking good?
They are. Got teeny little bones in to pick my teeth with.
There was a demon lord that very much loved these child fingers. I learned to cook them real quick.
I feel like Janu and
Johnny and Norm look like
we're just
You
like
hear a crack and a
we're just like
oh,
eating.
just a
we're just,
tiny bit of marrow in them. Oh my goodness.
we're just like eating our like boar and like what
fellas
berries
comes
and
to
like we're like looking at each other like
just I think it's just everybody else is huddled in a corner, like just staring at y'all talking.
I think we're like looking at Maphilus like, hey man,
I'm just kind of like
can you say something?
kind of halfway wrapped around your leg. Like,
My fellas look. She's like, he is a work in progress. But with the work of Eldeth, we will change his ways. Don't worry.
Hey, remember, the words of this community is diversity, okay? We're trying to include all cultures here, and I try to incorporate that in my cooking. Okay.
I pointed
We're not
crispy finger at you and go, it's not nice to judge people. Plus, he's not using these fingers anymore anyways. Do you just want me to go to waste? No. These children deserve better than that. I'm going to nibble on them so that they stay alive in me forever.
I mean, they have the consistency of a carrot anyway, so...
Basil just is just like what? His ears kind of wrap down and like cover his eyes, and then his head goes down and he starts rocking back and forth ever so slightly.
Wisdom saving throws for everybody.
Yeah, actually, let's have Constitution saving throws for everybody else. I got a 2. Johnny is vomiting in his ears, on his ears, dripping down. He's disappointed.
I got a 9.
I got a 7.
I don't think that's
You're
all of the Norm starts vibrating and everything that he's got stored in him kind of starts just like falling out. Just
coin included.
I don't think those fruit is very good. I don't think you should put that in your cook, and it seems like it's upsetting their tummies.
You're right, they probably don't know how to gather non-poisonous berries. I should have checked first. I apologize.
Basil with it. It wasn't the gathering. I promise. Oh. You're
What, so you're saying it's my cooking? Is my cooking a problem?
He kind of puts his ear up. He goes, honestly, this might be a really hard request for you, Gwen, but for the love of God, please stop eating the flesh of creatures, or of humanoids, please.
But then I would die.
Try
You
some-
need
can you try the pork?
Can
Please.
you try the pork, please?
I
You seem pretty high and mighty for someone who only eats mushrooms and doesn't even want to let somebody else cook for him. You're seeming pretty judgmental there, Bun Bun.
So you're saying if I'll eat meat, you'll stop eating the flesh of humanoid?
No. I was just asking if you could do what you were asking other people to do.
For the
it
sake
seems
of
like-
everybody here, I would start eating meat.
I need someone to
So
tell
you
me,
stop eating that, please.
why is there a problem for eating a humanoid? It's an upright animal.
Norm sticks one tendril up in the air. I believe the issue for everybody involved is the sentience of the creature, not necessarily what they're made of.
I agree. That's the good part.
just you see the little, just kind of very slowly come back together. Just, oh.
So you want us to kill the unintelligent humanoids, is what you're saying.
what if that works for me? But what if I just eat my meals in a little bit of privacy so it doesn't affect your sensibilities as much? I want to be respectful of your choices, just like you're not being respectful of mine. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's very kind of you, Gwen. I really respect that. Thank you.
Gwen just scampers straight at the tree, and then just like you just see his eyes, and you hear. Just squirrels just running down away from the tree.
Just literally, nothing that was sentient or wasn't sentient before. Everything is just.
Basil sits down and goes, well, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. Like, yeah, at least he's not eating in front of us where we can stomach our food.
Here's your veggie soup, okay?
I appreciate it, thank you. He eats it and gives his, he looks at it. I really do appreciate it. I don't want to be rude to anyone here. I mean, I know we're just getting to know each other, but some things are a little more sensitive to other people, like eating the flesh.
It's not a problem.
All right,
for me.
just so you know what's sensitive to me, if you throw that soup up, you're dead. You understand?
He kind of like swallows back down. I would never throw it up, I promise. He sees that there's some of the hair of the ape that got in there somehow. How dare you? He's like, baby steps.
No, walks over and just like gently rubbing their back like it's fine. It's okay. Everything's fine.
As soon as you say baby steps, Gwen's whole head popped down. Goes, you got baby feet too? I love crispy baby steps.
It's like a soft shell crab.
I look over to Mephiles and like, please,
Oh, sorry.
for the love of Eldeth, please finish
Pops his
finish
head
your
back.
training with this man. Mephiles, I will do what I can. He kind of tries to scamper up the tree to have a sit and chat with you up on the tree.
How is his climbing?
He's old, not the
I'll
greatest.
help
That's a 5. Okay.
My hand's full.
Y'all both like you help him. He pulls you down on the
You
tree.
mean you
Y'all
got a handful?
And y'all fall down to the ground, and Mephiles is like, "Oh, I apologize. I was trying to come to you, not for us to be in this situation. I think we do need to go over some of the reading of Eldeth if you do truly want to accept her words. This is something you and I can go over in our spare time. Not right now, of course. We have maybe other things to get to.
Sounds good to me. I love curling up with a good book.
All right, guys. I'm done cooking. I need a smoke break. Maybe for a bit.
Basil looks. He goes, "All right, guys. So did we ever find out who actually killed me the other night, or what happened with any of that?"
Well, I know we tried to talk to the guards as they were taking those guys away, but they wouldn't have it. Mephiles, do you have any insight on this?
Mephiles, he goes, "Well, not so much insight, but an inquiry. Quite recently, there has been these desperate citizens or people attacking new citizens of the city, especially those that have been given an allowance. It seems as though there's not enough to go around for everybody. So when this coin is given freely to people that have not done anything for the city of Eldoria, it has left a bad taste in the mouth of some of those around them. Not only that, it seems as though some people have have disappeared. Not just new citizens, but some citizens for the last little bit, and that's kind of where I come in. I have seen that the peaceful city of Eldoria is not so much in the last few years with the new mayor. It seems as though the town is not the melting pot it once was.
Do you know anyone in the town that might be able to help us a little more on that, maybe?
Well, I was hoping I could help you. I don't know many people in the city themselves, other than those that do follow the teachings of Eldeth, and there is a following of Eldeth in the city, and we can go to the small gathering that is there. If that's something I would be willing to do, they're actually citizens, so they know better than I.
When you talk about people going missing, how do you know they didn't just walk out like we did? There doesn't seem to be any sense of accountability. You just give people money and say, go on. So how do you differentiate between the people who are missing and those who just left?
Well, it's not just the new citizens that are missing. It's those that have been established and have businesses and have families and have gone missing just recently in the last few months.
Is there any rumors or superstitions or anything saying what might be happening?
I've heard a little bit here and there, but that's what I was hoping you five could help me with, is to be able to go into Eldoria and help me find what is taking the peace away from this city.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we still have kind of that option to, you know, get some equipment for free with our, you know, week kind of introductory period. So, I mean, it might be killing two birds with one stone, as they say.
That's a good point. Do you have a jewelry store? Fantastic. We're gonna stock up, boys.
I do actually need some jewels, so that would be really helpful.
I have a question about the missing people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specifically tying them together?
I haven't thought of it that way. I thought it was just a circumstance, or even there are rumors of a syndicate here in town that dwells deep into corruption and that of that of thievery and murder. It's something that is, you know, as you found out yesterday, is frowned upon in Eldoria, but it is creeping its way in.
So the fellas says, "Well, do anyone else have any questions?" Yes, there is some stores, as you asked, throughout the city. That would be more in the garden market does have some, but on the south side of the city is an area called Bolton, and the area seems to have much finer wares and that of adventuring items that you need, not so much that of the aristocrats and the fine linens within the town.
Is Bolton one of those areas where they'll give out free stuff for the first week, or is that since outside that wall there? Does it
They said the whole city.
I'm not too sure on the legalities of the city, as I am not one that has come through the portal, but I have traveled to Eldoria on my own accord.
Oh, we can definitely hit that place up. And where is this place that you were saying? You said the garden market? Where?
No, not the garden market where we once were. Where y'all told me about the encounter on the stage, but Belton is quite the opposite side of Norwal.
Oh, not for the wares, but for you said that there's kind of people we can talk to get a sense of what's going on in the town. Where was that at?
Oh, well, that's in Eastborough.
Okay.
That is kind of in between Norwal and Bolton. If we walk around the city wall, that way we don't need to quite go inside the city, especially if there's those looking for new people within the city to attack.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good plan of attack, guys. Is let's hit up Eastborough and then hit up Bolton after, time permitting.
Sounds good to me.
I have nothing to say. Let's
I
go.
agree.
As do I.
But I definitely think we should stock up on as much expensive things as we can for free this next week.
I do remember the assistant mayor saying that we can't take a full advantage of that. Like,
Oh, we're just gonna
there's
take
a
partial
limit.
advantage. Don't worry.
I agree. Like, no, we get what we need. Absolutely. There's no.
Yeah, he
qualms.
also told me I'm not allowed to eat the things I like, so I don't really care what he wants. He seemed...
I mean, the worst they're gonna say is no.
You know
Well,
what?
absolutely.
I will do what you guys choose to do. I'm gonna be a team player. I've never done this before. It's very exciting.
Basil just starts walking. Let's go all together. Basil's like, oh, Matthias, do you have everything from your camp put up? And he goes, yes, I do. We just need to put out this fire so it doesn't burn the forest, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Does anybody have extra water, or should we go?
Norm, do you burn? Can you just roll over it and...
Let's not test that out.
No, I think Norm sits there and you can kind of see like he kind of shrinks down a little bit. Like I am unaware, so he just rolls over and like goes and touches a coal.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and make a, I guess, Constitution save.
1 second.
Because I don't think there's anything that you're immune to fire or have any resistance. The only one that has that is Solon.
Well then, put your hand over it.
I can't turn off the flame.
It's resistance to acid and poison
Yeah,
damage.
that's what I was like.
Okay.
You should,
While I watch him do this, before he lands, and I wave my hand over it, and the flame extinguishes.
but the coals are still hot, right?
Oh, it'll still be warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he goes, the flame dies down as his hand's touching. So, Norm, you don't notice him doing this, so you think you're absorbing the fire. Or you can roll persuasion and tell or perception. Roll perception.
I'll do
He's like, roll perception to see if you notice him doing it or not.
16.
Yeah, you notice him doing it.
For,
But for a
no,
minute-
for just a second, you see Norm like start to kind of vibrate. Get like, oh.
Yeah, pure disappointment. You thought you were like you had some extra powers that you weren't aware of. But yeah, you touch it and you just.
It's like you start like you pick up hot coal if you're quick about it. He starts just kind of hot, and then throws it back in.
And it falls back into the pit.
Is there any like loose dirt nearby?
Yeah, there's some because of the trees the way they are. Because it is next to the coast. There is obviously some ferns and other type of plants that are around, but there is definitely some soil
So
that is
just
on the ground.
Johnny just grabs some dirt and
Yeah.
throws it on the fire.
And it
Or
starts
the
putting
coals.
it. Yeah, it starts putting it out pretty quickly because it is very damp soil since it's so close to the coastline. And within about 5 minutes, it's covered and it looks like it's put out from what y'all can tell. So as y'all start walking down the hill, going towards Norwal, this section of the town, y'all kind of only got a quick glimpse of it last night. These structures are much smaller, quite a bit smaller. You see that they aren't as tall as some of the other buildings. The doors are actually small. As y'all see, this seems to be like a population of where gnomes. The gnomes have kind of come into this little area, so everything's a little bit small. So it seems like there is actually So they're not, they're multiple stories, but it's not very large as they're houses for gnomes, and other small creatures. There are some other fae, wild fairies, and you do see a few other Haragons walking throughout this area. It seems as though this is like the small side of town, very scattered and not. You would think it would be kind of like all put in, but it seems as though like everybody has quite a little plot of land with their buildings or with their housing. It doesn't look as collapsed as the city is, where it's like building next to building next to building. As y'all saw, there was no alleyways to go through in the other in Eldoria. As y'all go through Narwhal, you see there's like a mini garden market, kind of towards the mid part or the south part of Narwhal, There's looks like a smaller garden market. Where there's a bunch of these small gnomes, a lot more smaller. All the small races are over here, so they're all kind of going about and selling things. Basil is like, "Oh, if you give me a quick moment, they might have some things that fit me a little bit better here. If you don't mind me hopping on."
Definitely, that's one of the reasons we came in here.
Oh yeah, we're free shopping.
I will come with you because I do not believe there is any place else that might have anything that would fit around my shape.
Can you wear things?
So he looks at Basil for just a moment and kind of back and forth, and he uses an ability called Shape Self,
Okay.
and it's I can take. I didn't realize I could do this because I thought it was just a lifeless blob. He can take a humanoid shape, but he's a small creature, so he kind of gets a rough approximation of Basil,
He's
and
just
then
learning.
just kind of and takes not a herringon shape, but a rough humanoid shape, very soft round edges, no strict articulating joints, but faceless Gumby.
Okay. Yeah.
Not full Osmosis Jones or anything.
No.
So Gwen is not the most terrifying person in the group anymore.
No, so it's just kind of a
Not visually. But when you start talking, absolutely nobody can match you.
he starts looking around and watching other folks moving around. He starts taking very slow steps, but it's not like he hasn't figured out how arms also were part of locomotion. So he just
It's like the Boston Dynamics robot.
Yeah, he's T-posing and trying to walk at the same time.
When his right leg goes forward, his right arm goes forward.
Basil.
He walks. He walks like an old Godzilla film. Good.
So as Basil goes in, you guys kind of see his ears aren't kind of back. His ears kind of perk up a little bit as he goes into town. Do any of y'all kind of, other than you, follow and see what he does?
Yeah, I mean, just for the heck of it, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basil
John
goes
does.
from shop to shop for clothing. Since he already has his loot, he goes around asking to a smith who makes a rapier, and you see him talking his way through everything. He looks over to one of the gnomes and asks, he's like, well, do you have anything that would fit my station?
Yes, we do have something that would fit you. We have things of all small varieties. We have things that might actually fit your... What are you?
He points over to you, Norm.
I'm Norm.
It is a norm? What is a norm? I've never met anything like this before.
Apologies. I am a plasmoid. My name is Norm.
Ah, wonderful to meet you, Norm the Plasmoid.
And so he goes,
Yes, what would you like to wear? We have some clothing of all shapes and sizes.
and Basil says, oh, and before we get going, just a reminder, we are new to the city. And he pulls out his card and he says, I know some things are free and some things are not, but please, we don't want to ever step our bounds. Please tell us what we can acquire for ourselves, since we're new to this realm.
Wonderful. Welcome to the town. It's been a while since we've seen all of you at once.
He kind of looks to the whole group.
Did y'all just recently come through the portal?
Yesterday.
Oh, wonderful. It's been quite some time, anybody. It's been like one every 3 or 4 days, but a group at once. Do y'all all know each other prior to this?
No.
Oh, what this is amazing. This is quite odd, but amazing all at the same. I digress. Sorry, I apologize. Yes. What do you need?
He kind of points over to you.
He kind of walks over and picks, kind of attempts to pick up, a tunic, just like a regular,
Yeah.
but sleeveless.
Yeah.
And can't quite,
Oh, sorry. I can get that for you. This is what we call a tunic.
And he's like,
Well, let me put this over. Can you?
he kind of puts it over your head.
Instead of putting his hands up, he just kind of oozes back in and elongates.
And he puts it over your morphous head.
Arms just ooze back
Yes.
out too.
This is fascinating. Well, you take the job away from a tailor quite quickly. You can use anything or wear anything that fits you. I'm quite useless for your race.
Norm looks down and he's staring at his hands.
Yeah.
And looks over and finds a pair of gloves, and kind of works his hands into the gloves, and see him start to like G.I. Joe style, like articulate all fingers and hands at the same time.
So you were fortunate enough that you got gloves that weren't too big or small. They look like they actually fit your hands. You didn't just
Like Mickey Mouse.
yeah, just giant gloves. You were fortunate enough to get the right.
Walking around like Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, but you were fortunate enough to get just like the perfect size. This was for yeah. This was for a 5-fingered humanoid, so you do your shape into the gloves, so it looks like you have 5 fingers as well. He goes,
Oh, this is quite fascinating. Can you fit into shoes of any size as well?
he brings tiny shoes, medium shoes, and large shoes.
Please, if you don't mind.
I think he doesn't recognize like what like necessarily like being goofy is. Like this is out of context for him. So,
Yeah.
well, okay, and just kind of walks over and like he Baymaxes his foot into it.
And he goes, oh, this is fascinating. As you go through
the 3 different pairs of shoes, he goes,
Well, I mean, there is some residue. You can keep all 3 pairs. I don't think I can sell those anymore.
He looks down. You see
One
him,
for every occasion.
you see him like he pulls his foot out of one of the shoes and just starts like small blood just and just starts absorbing it.
He goes, wait, you put them on the...
but then puts the shoes on that he like look like
looking forward.
anatomically correct.
He goes, oh,
It's just-
why do you need clothes? You just...
the gnome looks befuddled.
His shoe floats into his
He's like, well, I
Makes
guess...
the baby shoes come up like right about eye level, but they're a little.
One's up, cockeyed. One's up, one's down.
He goes, well, I guess that's one way to...
I just pictured somebody hitting you and they light up.
He looks and he goes,
Well, I don't really know. Well, I mean, I guess that's one way to show my wares. Instead of just one pair of shoes, you can have all 3 at once.
as he kind of looks on Basil's like, oh, well, thank you for helping Norm out. Do you mind if you could get me just black pants, shirt, and maybe just a cloak that kind of like his, where it doesn't have sleeves but kind of goes down a little bit over, and Norm's like,
Well, yes, of course. And
he takes Basil a little bit back, and he goes, Basil pulls out some gold. He's like, oh, I'd love to pay you for you. He goes,
oh no. You have entertained me for quite a. I haven't had such entertainment in such a long time. Your friend is quite amusing. Please take what you needed, and be on your way. And
so Basil bows graciously and says his thanks, and walks off to an armory to go get a sword. Basil does the same thing, and there's a fairy just covered in silt, just blacked out with just these giant goggles just hammering away. Not something you would typically see a fairy working in a smith shop. And he walks in and he goes, oh, is this the blacksmith? And she goes,
Yes, this is a blacksmith. What can I help you with?
well, I need a rapier. I don't know if this is something that I can afford, as I'm new to the city. And she goes,
No, of course not. This costs way too much.
Basil looks and goes, oh, that's a shame. What is the name of this shop?
Oh, well, Pixie Forge.
Oh, Pixie Forge. Is this well known throughout the realm?
Well, no, this is a small a shop in Norwell. Nobody knows.
Well, I think there's something I can do for you. If there's something you can do for me, I can bring many people to your store along throughout, and to buy your wares. I'll be kind of an advertisement for you.
Wait, Basil. Can you really believe this little tiny fairy girl can make a weapon that will work for you?
What do you mean, tiny?
Norm says, like, we may be able to bring great influence to this shop.
Well, What do you mean influence? What? Please, expound.
Basil, well, as my companions and I are saying is, as you said, there aren't many fairy blacksmiths. This is quite a beautiful thing, and your wares, or your equipment is that of the Feywilds themselves. If maybe I can procure one of your rapiers, maybe there's a way we can make a deal, and I'll give some, but maybe some of it, some can, you can reduce the price as I'm new to the city.
I don't know if. What did you mean by influence?
Maybe we could use your wares and spread notice among the other people in the city and show off what you have to offer in kind of in a trade, a bit of a bargain for us, but possibly more people to come in. We could be, what is the word? Advertising?
Or we could just go to a dwarf. I heard they're good smiths too.
What?
All right, all three of us. We'll do the average of all three of our rolls.
We are all douchebag influencers.
These are the 3 different approaches at every car dealership. Screw you, I'll get a Nissan.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, I can influence your shop. Basil got a 21 total.
17. It's persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll to 17. That is a 15.
Oh, it's negative.
Good goal. I have bad charisma.
I have plus 6 to 12. So 12, 21,
I'm a negative
and
2 to charisma.
you said 16 total?
15.
15. All right, so the average would be...
I have a 7.
So the average is 14, so we have to beat a 14.
The color scheme is perfect for you.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, but screw you. Find a dwarf that can do it better than I. Basil's like, son of a... Dwarfs might be known for this, but they have no beauty to it. There's nothing beautiful about their black swordsmanship.
I'll make sure to tell him you said that.
It's archaic.
Will do.
If I may, I've seen a lot of weapons over the last almost 1,000 years, and dwarfs are great at a lot of different weapon making, but fairies are good at the quick and nimble and fast weapons. Everybody's different, and everybody has their specialty.
Oh, so
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thin breakable ones is what you're talking
It's
about.
not thin. Fuck you, get out!
Oh my,
As she says,
that's some fairy fire right there.
she kind of just starts like shaking and then kind of just like as her wings start flying.
Seriously, leave! You're not welcome here anymore. None of you. Out!
Your
out!
wings are weak anyway. It's okay.
I flap my wings up, and I
Basil's like, well, I'll try another shop. That's fine. This was just the first shop I came to.
Oh, as we leave, Norm turns back to her and I'm sorry, and then just walks off.
What does a bow look like with your character?
A bow?
Yeah, like
Just a hard angle, just.
L. As y'all are walking out and walking, you see Basil sheathing a sword. As you were bowing to him, he stole a sword. He got a 20 on his sleight of hand.
Nice.
oh man.
He's just like, it'll work itself out. Don't worry, guys.
Johnny,
breaks, that's on you.
Johnny was kind of just like outside of the door of the entrance, kind of just leaning against the wall next to the door. And as everyone comes out, he kind of like looks over and was like, "Well, that kind of went well, didn't it?"
It went perfectly, swimmingly. Actually,
he said, and then he turns to Saul and is like, maybe just for the time being, a little restraint might be in order until we can get some good gear. Just for now.
Well, she didn't want to give it to us for free. This is our free week.
what are you talking about? It was free.
And she was gonna.
Basil's just like
Right in front of the door.
I got it, guys!
just doing the happy prance out the door like.
Oh my gosh. Leap away.
So as y'all make it out of Basil, is there anything else you need here in Narwhal?
Oh, I need some armor, actually. Some leather work.
I don't think this will.
Yeah,
fit
we'll
you.
have to go to
We're-
Bolton for that, right? Or another town, because this is the
Small sided
small
town.
side town.
Mephiles is like, that would probably be the best case. And he looks over to Basil and he goes, stealing can cause upset feelings in other people's hearts. It's not. Basil's like, I don't care. It's free. The mayor said free. This is free. We're all free here. for
Assistant
the
mayor's
week.
permission.
Yes, absolutely.
It would be a lot harder for us to help you if my friends didn't have weapons to protect themselves.
Basil's like, I understand, but there might be other ways to pure. And I was like, we tried, all three of us. It was a hopeless endeavor. Mine was the quickest and quietest.
It'll only hurt her feelings if you tell her.
And if she ever finds out.
I believe Eldath would approve.
Mephiles is like, just pats you on the shoulder and he's like,
Did I do it right?
you were close. That was a wonderful attempt. Thank you. And he looks at most everything here in this part of town is, as y'all can tell, for those of the smaller stature. So, but I believe if we go down to Bolton, it will be a lot better for you three, to find wares that would fit you a little bit better.
Oh, I don't need anything.
What kind of stuff do you need, Jonu?
He kind of smiles really
so
big at that.
Janu, he's wearing a tunic that you can see is kind of torn up, and so he needs a new tunic and a new cloak because the back of his cloak has a giant hole in it as well. So he needs that. He needs a sword, so he needs some type of weaponry, and I think that's a good start for him. Yeah.
Sword and tunic.
Why do you speak in the third person?
Sorry.
He has amnesia, so he's getting used to his name.
I apologize. Sorry.
Yes.
Janu hungry.
Yes, I am.
This is the new part. This is the new part.
No.
the boulder no longer. It's the only thing.
Mephiles takes y'all through. As y'all kindly pass through Narwhal, you come to another part, Eastwall and Eastborough, the two places that he was kind of talking. It kind of rounds about the giant wall that goes that separates kind of the outskirts of the town and the nicer areas. And once again, now this starts to get a little bit. The buildings kind of get back to the original size of that of the town, but still a little bit more spread out. It seems as these homes are for those that are more or are newer to the city. It seems as though these shops don't have the fine wares that y'all saw in Garden Market and that of the town. It seems as though these look like new businesses that are struggling because of the inside of the town is where most everybody goes to shop. But this is like the prices are a lot cheaper as you come through this area once y'all make it kind of to Eastborough. Mephiles is like, we have made it to Eastborough. If y'all don't mind, there's a group of 3 that follow Eldath, and we can maybe talk to them and see what's going on more so in the city.
Are they some kind of missionaries or something?
Oh, well, yes, they are clerics of Eldath as well.
Y'all just go around and talk about Eldath?
Yes, we try to teach her views of passivity and bringing peace as the city once had.
Why did you come here, though?
Well, the city was a beacon of peace years ago, and now seems as it is turning a little bit into turmoil, and we're trying to rekindle that. As this place was quite powerful, Eldath's preachings were once widespread throughout the city.
Interesting.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should go to Bolton first and get the wares we might need, or do you think we want to investigate this first?
Well, if
If you guys want to get your wares, I can check out the Eldeth. I don't have any need for tunics. I usually pick that up off bodies anyways. And I don't currently believe in inflicting violence on others, so I don't need a weapon.
I think we have extra robes for you, if you're ready.
I mean, sure, I guess. Are they comfy?
He kind of like pulls his robe out for you to touch.
Oh, it's velvety.
I would say silky, but yes. They're quite comfortable.
Yeah, I'll just throw that on. So what does my new robe look like?
Your new robe looks like...
What? Did you just rip his off?
It's kind of.
I'll take it. Yeah, can I try to sleight of hand his robe off?
Kind of. It's like
sleight
a
of hand
tannish
versus
set
his
of
dex, yeah, if
pants.
that's what you're going to go for.
It's a tan
Nope,
set
that's
of
a 13.
pants and a shirt, and then
That
like
was
a
a
long
19 on
brown
him.
bathrobe. And
No.
Yeah, so I feel it on the side and start just like reaching up to the clasp around his neck.
So this is what his robes look like as well. So it is a green hooded with a kind of vest that comes over. In the center of it is the symbol of Eldeth herself. It almost looks like a tree and roots, but it's actually like a flowing waterfall. Is what it depicts. And it is just different hues of green. The main color is a dark green with inlays of striping of lighter and green with that dark green as well. It is simple, quite simple.
So I will tell you that Gwen thinks that Eldeth
Is Eldeth.
is Eldeth.
The death.
So far, he is under the impression that Eldeth is the god of death.
Perfect.
Okay, well you're about to have
So
a
yeah,
lesson.
just a little bit of that out there.
So does he?
That's where he's approaching
Does he
this
think
from.
that like Eldeth wants to hog all the death for himself? Or?
He's not sure, but he's very curious. Gwen is very curious and excited about where this new deity is going to lead him.
I think
Is it like? Can we roll like a perception to see like, you know, like if there's a gut feeling where like, hey, we should go to the town of Eastboro first before we head to Bolton. 'Cause
We're in Eastboro right now, so Bolton is where y'all's stuff is. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean you can make a decision.
You as a player, you're like your character's mind.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
just-
What's
like,
your gut?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I don't want to leave the store. That's the only thing.
If you would like to go together, I can wait.
here's the beautiful part. Aside, the general rule of thumb in D&D is don't split the party.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. as well.
Yep. But at a shopping
But-
episode and a spa episode.
only time.
Only time. Are you okay?
This is one of those times where like collectively, other than the DM player over there knows that we're like this is probably a safe time for like we're not too far apart.
Yeah.
And I'm splitting to go with clerics
Yeah, it's like
that I think are even murder clerics. But that's
like that's right up your alley.
Assassin's
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Norm's curious and he's like I would like to join you if I can.
No.
Yeah, 'cause that's
talking
what-
to Mephiles.
Yeah.
And I'm still like,
Absolutely, you're more than welcome. Anybody is welcome.
yeah, I guess I'll go with you guys just because I don't want to like if there's interesting information, it's like I don't want to. Yes, I'll hear it, but my character won't hear it. You know.
Would you prefer it if I went with you guys
Well, no,
and
you
we
sh-
all came back here together
I mean,
to hear the glorious words of Eldeth?
We got attacked the other day, and one thing I know about traveling to strange places is that I would like to have my backside protected. You see these very exposed. I want them to be that exposed to all these strangers trying to attack us in crowds.
it would be nice to get a weapon. I do have your dagger, but a sword I'm more comfortable with.
Then I believe that myself and Gwen can go with the clerics, and Basil and the rest of the party can go get the rest of their. We have somebody that is armed,
Yes. Well,
and now I am technically armed.
You're
and
very good at combat charades, Janu.
and Solon, honestly, if you really want to go with him, with the priests and learn some things.
I am not a pacifist.
Well, you. All right, I'll just come out with it.
What am I
You're
supposed to
not very good at persuading other people to get things for free. Just keep your mouth shut, maybe?
Yeah, I am. You guys just told everyone to be nice to everyone. If you want to be mean, I can definitely persuade some people to get into some stuff.
Well, we...
Let's just. I'll come with y'all. I'll come with y'all.
You know what?
I guess we're going with you.
Dad, stop fighting.
All right, well...
Solon goes on a solo equipment journey.
does he?
All right, well, friends.
He's definitely I mean, it's between religion and his armor, and he's gonna pick the armor.
Okay, so you're going to kind of just start walking off.
If no one else is coming, he'll fly. He'll fly too.
You know what? Well, I don't want you to
Excuse
go.
me?
Even though this isn't what they said, a shopping episode, I still wouldn't want him to go alone. You know,
It's like Peter Pan and Wendy.
because, like you said,
Well,
it's
fine.
not good.
I guess it's okay. I will go with you, Solon, and you, Janu, and if you two want to go with Mephelis, I think that would be cool.
All right, but I do the talking this time. Okay.
All right, I'll sit back
Thank
and
you.
watch the show.
All right.
Except
Should
when I
we
buy my
meet
sword.
up?
I don't want you talking when I buy my sword.
Where should we
Fine,
meet up?
no problem.
When? And what should our backup plan be if one of our groups does not arrive at the meeting location?
What about the Hellacious Hoagie's place?
Well, that's back in town.
Isn't that where we're going?
What about Bildo?
Maybe.
It's in between Eastboro and Bolton. We can meet up in Bildo.
Mephelis it is in the middle, and it's one of the smaller of the two. They do have...
I left all my buildos at home.
They're nice and smooth and made out of human bone, which is exactly what I wanted.
Well, Mephelis is like, that could work, or...
Some orc femur. Yeah, don't tell those girls to watch this podcast.
I think Bildo would be a wonderful area to meet. There is a small
Mephilis, how long do you think this meeting might last? An hour, 2 hours, so we know when we should meet.
well, I would say it won't take too long, depending on the questions that both Norm and Gwen have for some of my compatriots and I. But there's this leather shop in Bildo. It's the Hide Leather store.
Called Bildo Baggins.
Build a bag and stuff.
No, the store is Hide Leather, not Bilbo, whatever you said.
Bag and such.
What do we say? A couple hours?
Yep.
I mean, I'd say 3 hours. 3 hours max, but
What's time? It's still morning, right?
Yes. How about we meet there at noon?
High noon.
Yes. Wonderful minds think alike. All right. So as we go separate ways, we'll
And
go.
wait, before we go,
Yep.
if one of the groups does not show up, let's wait about an hour or so, and then start walking on the main road towards the other group, so that if we pass each other, we'll see each other. But we only take the main road to this meeting spot. Does that sound good to everybody?
Well, there's the main roads are really only in town. All throughout the outskirts, it's kind of a
What if we?
hodgepodge of streets.
How about we stick to?
We can stay near the wall.
Yeah, stay near the wall. Yeah.
If we go directly towards the wall and walk towards the wall, on the outskirts of the wall, just make sure. Yeah, I think that would be a wonderful idea.
Sounds like a plan, neighbors. You stay safe and have a great day.
So we'll go with Norm and Gwen and Mephelis as y'all.
progress the story.
Yeah. Get things done.
As the cutscene approaches.
Yeah. So Mephelis takes you kind of to this small house. This house is a lot more quaint. It's very cozy. It's not anything elaborate. As you walk in, there's not that many like there's not a lot of furniture in there. Which I'll look inside as you three walk in. There seems like there's 4 bedrolls. 3 bedrolls rolled out, and kind of just like a small little like sitting area around where there's like a cauldron over embedded on the ground where there's like a little stove that's on the ground, and above it looks like to be almost like a vent system of some sort above as well. As y'all come in, there's 3 dwarfs that are sitting in the exact same robes that Mephiles is wearing.
What do they do? Are they all talking or sitting quietly?
They're kind of just sitting quietly around. It seems like they're making breakfast in the morning time, and Mephiles knocks quietly on the door, and the door opens, and a dwarf looks up and he goes, come in. We have... he goes, Mephiles, welcome. Please come in. We have some breakfast brewing. Oh, you have some friends. My apologies. Please come in, everyone. You are welcome to come in. He kind of walks over and sits back with the other 3 dwarfs in that room.
Is there any like decorations or paintings, tapestries, anything like that?
No,
it's very bare.
It's just very bare.
Very Spartan.
Yeah. The only things there look like is there's a very basic cooking set, and very close by to where the cauldron is, and then those 3 bed mats. Very, very minimalistic in this house. And he goes, one of them is like, well, welcome to the Temple of Eldeth.
Well, thank you for having us. My name's Gwen, and I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to learn more about Eldeth.
And he sees that you're, in your robes. He goes, oh, are you a follower of Eldeth?
I'm an acquaintance right now, but I'm looking at following maybe.
Well, wonderful. Please, yeah, our food is for all of you. He kind of does another double take at Norm. He gets,
looks up
it
at
draws
him and
one
then
thing,
sees
but
him and, what
yeah.
the?
Hey, well, and what was your name? I apologize. Mine was Razzle.
My name's Gwendolyn Rappa. You can call me Gwen.
Oh, wonderful. That's a lot easier to remember. And I don't think I could enunciate the way you did. That's quite impressive.
My full title is Norm Lagore, and most everyone has taken to calling me Norm.
Welcome. Both of you, Norm and Gwen, please have a seat. We just made breakfast. I don't know if you had anything to eat.
Norm goes over and kind of like, he's not T-posing anymore because he's been actively like trying to watch people and mimic like walking. But now he's looking at the chair because he hasn't seen anybody sit yet. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't understand the mechanics of sitting. So you just watch him kind of like fall onto the chair and then like take the shape of the seat.
So Gwen sees this and is starting to kind of notice your approach to life, and waits until your general eye face is pointing in my direction, and then I'll slowly take a seat like normal people do, so you can watch. Like I'm doing it like step by step, like bending my knees, lowering my body, and then like if I see your head cock, I like get back up a little bit to like redo it slower.
So he does this, but he's like facing the chair and watching you do it. So he's bending the opposite direction, that most like instead of sitting down butt first, because he doesn't have a butt, he doesn't understand that. So he like sits down facing the back of the chair and figures out, and then just everything flips around.
Gwen gives you a thumbs up. That means you did good.
Yeah. That was quite a spectacle to see.
Everybody else is just like,
What the
Dwarves are known for their non-xenophobia.
Yeah, they're just like,
may have been the weirdest thing I've seen all week.
Razzle is please, breakfast is made for everyone. Please dig in if you'd want. It's a basic potato and beef stew.
No, I'm only hungry for knowledge.
Well, I mean, Mephiles is like, yes, of knowledge. Razzle, I think my friends, well, my new friends and I have some questions for you guys, as you have been in the town of Eldeth and trying to spread in the town of Eldoria, and y'all are trying to spread the word of Eldeth. Is there anything that y'all have heard of recently about the town in regards to us trying to bring peace unto the city? Razzle looks and goes, well, it has been quite a different excursion than last we came to Eldoria. Years ago, it was quite easy to spread the word of Eldath, and it just seems as though as every time I try and bring peace, words of peace unto the people, it just nobody wants to hear it. As this, everybody just turns a quick shoulder to us. It's not what it used to be. If that is kind of the information that you're wondering. Mephiles is like, well, for me, that is quite an insight as how I can go about sharing the word of Eldath, but I don't know about for these two. Do y'all have any questions for Razzle?
Well, I've seen a lot of religions and a lot of cults and a lot of governments and a lot of groups, and what I can tell you from what I've seen is that it doesn't really matter the words you say. You can spread the word as much as you want, but it's your actions that matter. What are you doing to show people the glory of Eldeth?
Mephiles is, as you saw, I was quick to come aid those that are in need. That is something we do as followers of Eldeth is we really try to bring as you say, our actions are what of peace and healing and bringing those comfort when in hard times, as you, well, as Basil experienced. He looks over to Razzle and was like, well, Basil is a creature that, or a Haragon that was killed, or almost died, that was brought back to life, and we healed him, and one of his other friends, John Noob, brought his memories back. And they said, all of them kind of just all in unison, Eldath be praised.
So I guess what I was asking is, do you all just kind of go around looking for things to do to help spread peace, or is there actually a systematic approach to spreading your message through your deeds? Or are you just kind of wandering around waiting for people to get beat up so you can come in and help?
Razzle looks because, well, something that's quite beautiful about the preachings of Eldath is peace can only come from within. We try not to teach and preach or impose ourselves upon those. We seek stillness and thereby find our own peace. We try to bring that peace into other people's life. It's as though as you're sitting in a grove of trees and feeling the breeze. That is a beautiful way that Eldath shows peace that you can find for yourself, especially those that have gone through some horrific or awful things. Something we do is we choose to stay away from violence. As we see violence enacted upon others, we come to defend them through healing and through bringing them back through their dark despair, but not to harm others ourselves. That is how we protect, is by bringing those back through hardships. I don't know if that is what you're asking, really.
It wasn't what I was asking, but it's the answer that I was actually looking for. And I just didn't know how to ask the right question.
Yes, so we take an oath not to take any life, even in the direst need. There's no need to take a life, especially when nature and age will do that itself. There's no need to prematurely do it from our own volition. And vindictive actions of mortal creatures.
Tell me about this oath. What happens if you break it? And How does it, like, are you just making it to yourself? Are you making it to a church? I'm not a big fan of religious establishments, but are you making it to the deity itself?
It is really to Eldath herself. As I mentioned before, the peace you find is that of your own peace. It is the peace that I found through Eldath is my own. The peace that you might be able to find through Eldath will be your own as well. It is very similar as running water. It runs differently on different streams. Whether it be through a raging waterfall, the water will flow. Whether it be through a still stream that flows through a beautiful field, it is still flowing. The water is still flowing. That is the way that Eldath brings peace. It is different for each.
So, Norm, you see Gwen kind of like, he's just looking down at this point. He's listening. Still has that ear-to-ear smile. 100% of the time. From the time he wakes up, it just pops on. Like, to where you know it's, like, actually hurting his face this entire time. But that's just his natural. So, still big smile. But you can kind of see, like, one single tear come down his left eye. And then his hand comes up as he's looking down and rubs the top of his, tunic. And under it, you hear some, like, kind of like jangling. You're not really sure what it is. Well, I guess you could roll and see if you're sure what it is.
Was that be
Perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
That's a nat 1, everybody. Norm
What does it
doesn't
sound
know
like?
shit.
So, as you hear this, the only thing you can think of, because of vibrations, the way you hear, the only thing that it reminds you of is when you were with the bug people. Kind of their visceral throat, like vibrations, rattling, kind of almost
The chittering.
Yeah, the
and
chittering.
Like yeah.
You know, almost for you, that's what you heard, and so you just kind of like perk up, but you don't know
Looking
where
around
it's
for
coming
just a
from.
second, like, what? No, wait.
You're looking for the bug people in this room all of a sudden, so you're not paying attention to where it came from.
I look around and it kind of takes me out of the moment for just a second, and Norm looks at Razzle and says, I do have a question of my own.
Well, of course. What can I say?
You do say that you take a vow of pacifism.
Correct. Yes.
I have concerns with this. Because if you are in a situation where inaction could spell the death of another, but action, while may save that one person, may injure or more fatally harm the other, it seems as though inaction would be... It almost seems as though that would be the greater of two evils.
Well, I guess another way you can look at it is look at nature itself. Eldath is part of nature, as water flows, as I mentioned before. Sometimes there are animals that are predators and those that are prey. There are times where those predators take the life of the prey, and that is the way nature rolls sometimes. But who am I to step in and to change that of nature until after that action is done? I know it will cause harm. There will be harm that is given to those people, but from where I am as a cleric of Eldath, I can heal and help after the fact and help them find peace in their hardships. But as you say, this might not be the path for everyone. The path of Eldath is, like I said, their own journey. And if you're not ready for passivity, I will not push at all. This is not what I am here to do. I was answering your questions.
The form that he's been holding for this period of time, you see, like, as everybody's sitting there, you see it kind of relax and kind of become it's the ooze version of watching somebody become introspective as they're trying to figure, because this is not something that he has no context for pacifism.
Yeah.
It's not,
never happened.
it's never something he's ever seen, because the world that he the worlds that he has been to have all been not necessarily violent, but are very, very close to nature. Like living in the nomadic life with those the insectoids. They are hunter gatherers. Then you go to this jungle planet where one misstep is just immediate death. And he's never had a moment where pacifism for him isn't necessarily, he just doesn't, he can't kind of wrap his head around it.
Yeah.
So he can, it's not that he shuts down, you see him, you literally see the wheels turning. It's like the stuff is kind of floating around inside of him. You see it actually starting to move and he's the gears are turning.
Oh, you see the other two dwarfs were kind of Razzle's definitely focused on you as well as Metellus, but the other two dwarfs were kind of stuck on this, and they're amazed by it because as he's preaching about water, you are flowing in and in of yourself as you're thinking, and so they're in awe of you, they're like something happening, something great is happening, is what they're thinking. But this
has got to be divine. Meanwhile, Norm's over there
but kill everyone.
But violence isn't the answer, but it is an answer.
Yeah.
Jump cut.
Yeah.
So during that, Gwen's still just looking down, his hand on top of his tunic, and just kind of detaches a little bit, and you just, not a whisper, but just a low voice, just peace. I've only ever seen peace right when the light goes out. Is there another kind of peace? One that lasts longer?
Razzle, that is for you to find out.
But how?
The only way I've ever been able to find peace is through the teachings of Eldath. You've tried journey and finding peace your way once before. Why not give this a go? I don't want to overstep my bounds and
I know
preach
I
onto you,
would,
but
I would love to go. I think that
it seems as though
I just don't. I need peace. I've had peace so many times, but for such short periods, and I would like to live in that place that I see when the light turns to dark.
Metellus looks over to you and says,
well, I think you've had a moment of peace, if you don't mind me interjecting, when you healed that squirrel.
That is true.
But once again,
It was
this is
like
your journey, not ours.
It was like putting light back into the darkness. I don't know what to do with this. Do you have, I mean, this seems, you tell me that there's a god or goddess, I don't even know right now, that can give me peace. It's inside me, but you won't tell me how to find it, and there's no concrete steps. I don't quite understand what the purpose of this the organization is, if it's not to help.
Eldath itself, if I don't mind, Eldath herself is not something to spread and share and force upon others or inject my thoughts into you. Eldath is the journey that you might find, and if you ever do take the oath of passivity, is for you to find what that is. You know, it seems as though from looking at you, you've had a life of turmoil and a life of hardship. I don't know if
It's been pretty messy.
I don't want to delve deep into it, but what I do know is for you to be able to find that journey, the best way to do is bring help to others. You help other people, it takes you outside of yourself. It's not about you anymore. it's about something greater than just you. And that is something that I have found for myself, is that when I bring life back to people, when I bring and heal them from their hardships, whether it be injury or whether it be strife in their life, this is what I have found to work for me, and be able to share that, as you said, that light that lasts instead of a quick moment of a glimpse of light into darkness. That light that lasts longer, it burns brighter inside of me. The water flows stronger, and I become more fluid with the water of Eldath.
Are there certain words to this vow? Or is it kind of just personalized between you and you?
There is a vow for you to take if you do want to seek stillness, but it is when you're ready to find that vow. We can write it down, and you write it in a letter for you to be able to.
Yeah, I don't want to do it right now, but I would very much like if you could make a little note for me, write it down, and then if the situation ever arises where I'm fully ready to commit the rest of my life not to chopping people up and licking their insides, then I will read those words out.
As you say this, he goes, I really don't want to dive up into your past. He was smooth sailing this whole time, and kind of as you
Going
kind
through
of
the motions.
Yeah,
You actively see all of the gears stop when the gears is just like,
and then the two other dwarfs just kind of slowly turn back to you, what you were saying, and
they,
ignore
they,
his.
they see me kind of like start paying attention, and they're like, and start looking away.
And then they like snap back at that comment, and they.
Hey, we've all made mistakes,
Well,
right?
of course, and that's what I'm saying is each journey is their own. The raging waters of your past might be something that is more unique to you. That's why I said the journey to find peace is yours to find, if that is something you're truly looking for. Mephiles steps in and he goes, yes, I'm glad you've taken the robes, and I will. And he was the one writing the vow, and he's like, this is a vow that I've passed on to these three, and if it is something that you want to step into, it is for you to take at your own time. But nothing is forced.
Well, I really appreciate you bringing me into your humble little home and telling us a little bit more about Eldath, and giving me these kind words to talk if the situation ever calls for it.
Finally, for the first time, they realize, and like, are you saying Eldath or Eldath?
I'm talking about Eldath, the one that you're talking about. Giving peace instead of taking peace through killing. It's through life. It's all about all about the death, right?
No, it's not death. It's Dath. D-A-T-H.
There's an E in there.
No. It's E-L-D-A-T-H. It's Eldath. You can also call the goddess of spring water, or the mother guardian of the groves. These are some of the names she goes by, but most.
So those, and then he points to the tunic where it has like the waterfall. He's like, so wait, those represent lines of water. I thought they were hooks, like I used to use to pull people's eyeballs out, and then the other ones you would pull in their nose and pull their brains out to mummify them. So I understand the misconception.
And he goes,
water's really pretty too, though.
yeah. He goes, well, I can understand the confusion from your past, obviously. But we do wear green as the last and final name is the Green Goddess.
Eldath.
Dath, yes.
Let me. He takes out his notebook and scratches some stuff out. It's like, well, that frees up a couple confusions for me. Okay.
Another one of the other dwarfs from the other side. What is something that you'd like to know about this city? It seems as you are more inquisitive of the goings-ons is not so much the words of Eldath. You look like you had, your wheels turning.
He has no idea what you're talking about. He's like, it's one of those things, he can't like look inside himself.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like,
It seems as though you had some questions, is all I'm saying.
He
It was quite clear.
he stops and goes, "What? It concerns me from this morning when we were told that there were people going missing."
Oh, yes. That is something that concerns us. We are looking into that as though it seems as these families are losing members of their family, and it's taking peace away from the city.
I still pose my original question. Is there anything that may tie these people together in some way?
Metellus is like, yes, you did ask me that this morning, and as far as I'm concerned, I can't link anything together. The other dwarf that was talking, he goes, well, actually, we've been trying to link the pieces together, and nothing has fallen through. Maybe you can do some investigating yourself. As we wear these robes, there are times, especially here in this city, people turn their shoulder to us quite quickly nowadays.
I have to ask, is there any sort of city registry? Anything where we could look at the names of those who may have been taken, or if there's any kind of list?
Well, yes. Have you are you new to this? You are new to the city, correct?
Yes.
Well, that registry and that the ID that you have been given, there's a large list at the city hall, and it is public domain for anybody to go in and look for themselves to find names. It is nothing that is hidden from the citizens.
We may, do you know, do you have a list of names by chance?
A list of names of the missing people.
Yes.
Yes.
And their occupations would be great, too.
Oh my god, did Gwen and Norm just become buddy cops?
I don't.
Gwen looks to you and goes, oh my Eldeth, did we just become buddies?
Best friends?
Do we?
Well,
I don't know what a cop is in favor of a
Did
guard.
we just become guardsmen?
Did we just become bodyguards?
Well, I will say I don't have a complete compiled list, but I do have one that is more recent, if that piques your interest. That of Nades Baropik.
May I have a copy?
Yes, he grabs a piece of paper and writes down the name.
So, Gwen, may I? Grabs your hand, splats it on the copy that he just wrote, picks it up, opens his notebook, and splats it on, and transfers the ink over like silly putty.
This is a thing.
So this is actually a perfect jump cut to where we take care of
Yes.
the rest
Yes.
of the party, because I need to urinate.
So bad. Same here. I'll let
How
you go
does a
first.
slime urinate?
It's just extra moisture.
Well, if you gotta roll for initiative. To
It's,
squeeze out.
it's circumferential.
Okay. So what we can do.
14.
I do it.
All right.
Just sticks a paper towel in, pulls it out, it's wet, and just throws it away.
So yeah, you were able to press his hand and
Just
and copy.
a little Orby pops out and just leave it behind.
So yes, we'll go back to John Sloan and Basil as y'all walk through the city. As y'all walk across the city wall from Eastboro, y'all kind of walk towards the wall, and as you walk around the wall, you realize that you can't directly walk on the wall. There are some buildings that are actually attached to the wall, so you kind of have to go around a few of the larger structures and some structures that go around. But you do make your way to Bolton. You see that Bildo is just a very small section, and it's actually looks like what you see is a lot of the forest actually goes in. This is probably the skinniest part between the wall and the forest itself, where Bildo is and the rest of it. Eastboro seems like it's the largest expanse out until you come to Bilton. As you see Bilton, it now looks about as expanse as the length of the city itself. The inside the wall is what you see.
And as what's something that's quite cool about Eldoria is Eldoria kind of sits up, kind of up and above, and almost like it's the hill, and everything's kind of coming down from that. But yes, you make your way through Bilton. You do see Bildo, but once you come to Bilton, you come to another set of another scattered town. There's still actually, unlike the rest of the inside of the city, inside the city walls, there weren't many trees. The areas that there were trees were very unique. Small little patches of trees, but there's still some trees, and whether they're pine or oak, they're still standing tall within Bilton, and it seems more relaxed, this area of town. But you do see the bustle, you hear the carts going by, you see people going through Bilton. It's very chaotic as there's not typical streets structure. It seems like a modge podge. As you come to this area, you see that this is quite elvish influenced. There's, as the city earlier, it's almost like the wind kind of blows through the city quite freely, the way the buildings are built. So it kind of like is a passageway for the wind to flow naturally with the trees here in Bolton. But yes, y'all arrive in Bolton. And Basil's just following your lead.
Where's the leather shop around here?
Basil's like, well, we were supposed to meet at a leather shop in Bildo if you want to wait for that. But
I mean, that's the only thing I need is some leather armor.
Let's get me some clothes and a sword, then, and then we can go to the leather store after.
well, I think we need to ask around and find what's here in Bilton.
Hey, you!
You catch the person you talk to is a very dark-skinned elf. Not so much that of a drow, but brown, very dark brown skin. She has very elegant, long, straight hair. Her eyes are hazel, but her hair is this beautiful red. It's not black. It's this beautiful straight red hair, and her eyes are hazel. She stands about 5'11". She goes, "Oh, hi, yes."
Is she attractive or not? This is important. On a general level.
I mean, she is
Above 5 or less than 5. Let's be real here.
I rolled a 19 for it.
She's a 10.
10? Oh.
She's a 10.
Oh, you Are we rolling for it?
I just rolled for it. Yeah, she's a 10. If we're gonna go on scales, yes, she's a 10.
Solon's whole demeanor changes. So it's his.
Hey, are you gonna roll for what Soren is?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow! Your eyes are deep with knowledge. So, do you mind if you help me? I am looking for the blacksmithy around here, and you just seem like the person to ask about these things.
Well, she kind of like smiles a little bit. I wouldn't say I mean, yes, I do live here, but I mean, you could have asked anyone by chance.
But my eyes caught to you.
Oh. Well, what is your name, if you're so frank with me?
Oh, my apologies. I'm Solon. I'm new in town.
Hello, my name is Priya.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
You as well. She goes, my full name is Priya Tossel Creek.
Priya Tossel Creek has a wonderful ring to it. Very mystical and of that of the forest.
I can't wait for the background music.
And she kind of is like, well,
Saxophone for sure.
she kind of looks and she goes, well, I appreciate the kind words, but what can I help you with? She kind of like she seems very enthusiastic and really happy to talk, but
I'm sorry.
You can tell
you're obviously very busy.
Yes.
I need to find the smithy for my friend here. He needs some equipment. We were attacked yesterday, you see, and we really want to just be able to protect ourselves around here.
Well, I mean, I can understand. You were attacked?
Yes, it was very brutal, but don't worry, we took care of it. And then the guards showed up, and everything's handled. We're all fine.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. There's not a smith, but on the outside of Bilton. You're here. You guys are currently in the center of Bilton. She says there's most of the shops around here. There is a scabbard maker. I don't know if that interests you before you go to the sword, but there's a scabbard maker. But that wouldn't make sense. She kind of is like, that wouldn't really make sense without your sword. But
How about a place for some like a new tunic and cloak?
a tunic and cloak. Well, there's a shop just right here. Those Sulknar's attire.
Sulknaris attire?
Yes.
And then you said the blacksmith was on the edge of town,
Yes.
kind of near High Street,
Uh,
or more towards the Peddler Waypoint.
It is kind of the corner of. We really don't have any streets, but it is close to, right in between Bolton, and it's right next to the Lusty Dress.
The lusty dress, what is that?
Oh, it's just a attire for women.
Interesting. Do they have such a place for men?
Well, there are some fine attires around here as well. I mean, depend on your desires, you can easily dress in some of those wares as well.
Something to wear at nighttime would be nice.
I mean, that would be a great place to look.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your help. Would you mind giving me your name again?
Yes.
I would like to burn it into my memory.
Oh.
You're gonna say it in my skin.
So you
That's your character.
you think you're being really smooth and debonair, and she just kind of looks you. Her enthusiasm and kindness kind of just instantly stops, and she goes, "It's Priya. I already said that."
Priya.
But I won't tell you where I live, as I have a feeling you'll follow me.
No need to worry about that.
Well, you ready to roll out? Pariah, thanks for your time. We really appreciate you letting us know where these places are.
Yes, of course.
Janu, and I'm assuming Basil and Solin make their way to Sulknaris for the attire.
As y'all are walking, Basil goes,
What was that?
What was what?
Was that your attempt at flirting?
I don't know how you rabbits do it, but yes.
Quite quickly, actually. A lot less talking, a little more business.
Not on a diet only of vegetables, that's for sure.
My endurance is quite. Well, it's about 10 seconds.
Does he say it proudly?
with as much conviction, like this is no. Well, yeah,
10 seconds, of course. Yeah, that's quite long.
Wow.
It's 90 bumps.
About 6 pumps per second. But Basil's like, well, I mean, you know.
Oh, my head.
All right, well.
Johnny just kind or Basil kind of gets quiet and just follows you and Janu. Go ahead and roll to see if y'all can find the.
Blown on a piece of grass. And
Go ahead and roll.
Perception is
Yeah, I guess perception to see if you can find it in the direction that she pointed out.
11.
16 total.
Okay, yeah, so you are kind of keeping your head on a swivel, looking around. Basil's kind of just following along with Solon. And Solon, you, the first story you find out, obviously, is the lusty dress.
Ah, we're here.
This is why you don't split the party.
It's breaking my armor.
It's gonna be like every fantasy girl armor you've ever had. Just
Have my abs with it.
just covers your nipple and only your crotch.
Those little chains going
As you walk in,
It's kind of K-pop band.
you see an elvish woman with this
Slave
elaborate hair and this very scantily clad clothing.
Oh, welcome to my shop. How may I help you?
I was told here that I can come here for some great night attire.
Oh, we have the finest night attire for any occasion. What occasion are you looking it for?
The fiery kind.
Follow me.
And she takes you to a shop, and it is just thongs and just whips and chains and just BDSM all the whole wall.
The songs, the sticks and stones, heroes, but thongs and whips excited.
Next
That's playing in the background.
Next performance.
Yeah, she's like,
This is the steamiest attire that we have.
No, seriously, where's the more fiery stuff?
We're off menu.
she goes,
What do you mean?
I
This
mean-
is quite the best attire that
These
we
whips
have.
don't even have spikes on them or anything.
Well, it's for excitement, not death.
Exactly.
I guess they do things a little softer around here.
Meanwhile, Gwen's over there. They figured out how to use me as a Xerox machine.
Basil.
We can get the word out to everybody. I'm gonna name you Gutenberg.
Marking it down. It's like,
Can we soundbite that?
sorry. It's like, cut.
Time. She goes,
Dipshit.
I mean, this is the steamiest attire that we have.
Okay. How much for that leather whip over there then?
Oh, well, it doesn't have any barbs as you require, but
Those can be added.
well,
We are new here, by the way.
she looks over her shoulder.
she goes. Are these the ones you will be
She
using
pulls
to
the
whip
rug
on?
closed.
No.
My apologies. He seems as though one that is. No, nothing holds him back. I apologize.
I charge twice for males.
Charge by the ball.
You see this woman just like flush red. Everything is just like, she's like, she pulls out the fan and starts like fanning you.
What are your hourly rates?
Basil's in the background.
John who became a pimp.
She goes, what are your hourly rates? Yes.
For you, 3 gold coins.
How much time do you need?
You go as long
10
as you
seconds.
want.
Basil's like, it's not gonna last longer than 10 seconds, so take your time. 15 seconds at most. If you're that talented. And Basil's like, let him do his thing. We'll go to the iron shop.
Yeah, can you? Well, he turns. John, he turns to the lady and goes,
The shop is closed. Leave.
Can you point us to? Can you point us to Soknaris?
Yeah, right next door. Leave. She goes over and puts closed on the sign. And Basil's like, he's like 1, 2. He starts counting.
1 hump bunny, 2 hump bunny, 3 hump bunny.
How long are you at the shop?
How much gold does she have?
Roll for performance.
It's 3 gold an hour.
3 gold an hour?
Remember, we got like 3 hours tops.
Minimum
I,
of
I
1 hour.
knew.
Minimum 1 hour? Okay. Well, I will roll a d4 and we'll see what happens.
Somebody's got to roll performance.
No, it was 3 hours plus an hour extra.
Wow.
Oh, plus an hour. 2 hours. This was 2 hours, so you made 6 gold. And she tipped you quite well, and she gave you 10 extra gold, so you made 16 gold out of that.
And she got.
I bet she tipped.
She tipped more than the actual rate.
Oh, roll performance actually before you get a tip. We'll see how much the tip is based on your performance.
How much is the tip?
Oh, off day. It is.
She gives you 2 gold piece extra.
That's 13.
Yeah, she gives you 2 gold piece extra, and she goes.
Above average.
She goes. That was fantastic, but it's. I mean, the way you talked, I thought it would be more.
That was without the spikes. We'll do it next time.
Done. She turns the door open, the shop sign open, and you leave with the whip. Because remember, it's free.
Now me and Basil have been shopping while this is going
Yeah.
on.
Well, yeah, for 2 hours. Yeah.
playing with this character, but it's perfect.
All right, yes. So you end up at this blacksmith next door, and once again, there's another. This is an elf. Once again, this is a lot of elvish stuff. Welcome to my shop. How may I help you?
Well, we're new here, and I don't know if you can give us anything for free, but to see what you might have available as far as swords goes, that you know.
For free, we will have the not my finest, and I don't like to give anything but my finest. Yeah, my prices are not very cheap.
What are your prices?
What are you looking for exactly?
Just a one-handed sword, something that could do some damage.
So you're saying are you looking for an elvish short sword then? Well, I mean a short sword here.
Instead of a Kukuri sword, it's a Kukuri.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a long sword.
Ooh, well, I mean, long swords are about 15 gold pieces.
And short swords are 10.
About 10, yes.
Well, could you make any type of deal? I mean, we are new here, and I know,
How much gold were you given by the city if you're new here?
Well, I'm sure you're well aware of how much gold we all have.
Well, no, I mean, it changes month to month and year to year.
Hold on.
Basil steps in as well. Well, I mean,
15 deception to say they gave us 2 gold.
There goes the moral compass of our party.
for his 7, yes. Evil.
So we've got the moral compass that went away. Now we have the oral compass.
That gave it away quick.
We were given 2 gold as part of our entrance fee.
Oh, well, that seems. I apologize. Yes, I think we can work something out. Roll persuasion for a sword.
21.
You beat his 18. And he goes, no, I feel bad for you, so I can give you one of my lesser short swords, but it's not going to be anything less but amazing. It is still fine work, but not that of my upper class. It's not going to be engraven with gold or any leafing of this, but it is well made.
2 gold for the short sword.
I will give it for free.
I appreciate that.
Of course. See, as you are new here, I think that is more than welcoming. How about for you? And Basil's like, I already have my own. It is much better than yours. And he looks at you, better than mine. He goes, yes, it was made by a fairy. He goes, that looks like a toothpick. Basil, well, it might be a toothpick, but it will do its job.
And he goes, well, he looks so pissed that he just gave you a sword for free. And Basil's like, no takesy backsies, and walks out the store quickly. Just. And he goes, you will never get my kindness again.
At a 13 for persuasion, I'm just like, I get or whatever. I just kind of like, we just newly linked up. I really appreciate your gratitude.
He goes, you should look better for better acquaintances than this. Basil starts like putting the sword in his mouth like a toothpick. Walking
As they walk out, Johnny turns to the blacksmith and goes, "Do you know where Sultan Aris is? I would like to get some attire, if I could."
Sorry, what was it? What
Sultan Aris.
If you go back to the center of Bilton, it is right in the square of Bilton.
Thank you.
You guys make it to Sultanar's attire. You and Basil. He goes, Basil, I'm sorry. He's just. I want to have some fun with some people. They don't seem very smart.
Wait, I'm Elvin. You.
No, not an elf. It's just that person looked kind of dim-witted, especially that he gave you a sword for free.
This is true. You know,
I
at least
we're supposed to get free.
At least the fairy had the right mind for you to have to steal from her to get the sword.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at least she had some more backbone than that little elf.
It's all good. Let's go and get this. Let's get some attire and get back to Solon and see how he fared.
Yeah. So as you come into Sulknar's fine wear, you see a 35-year-old human. She has short hair, wavy blonde, green eyes. She has tan skin, and she stands about 5'7". She's standing at the front of the kind of like the desk of the store where you can make purchases. Also, you see in the store a baby. She has like on kind of like on the counter. You see she's rocking like a 1-year-old baby as well, and you see. Kind of in the back, there's like a clothing where it's being made as she stands there.
I walk in, or Johnny walks in and says, "Hi, we are new here, and
She sighs.
and was wondering if we could get any need a tunic and a cloak."
Well, I mean, welcome to the city, I guess. Tunic and a cloak.
Is everything okay?
I mean, you're coming here to my business to take my wares and going to ask for free. This is custom to the city for the first week.
I mean, we were told this is a highly accepted thing, but it seems you are kind of troubled by this. Can you explain why this is? When we were told by the assistant mayor, this is what everyone does.
Well, I mean, if you're mandated by the law to do certain things when it's meets up your business, I mean, we have smaller businesses here on the outside of Bolton. We're not in the middle of town where everything is, well made and kind of the focus of the enterprise of the city. So, yes, of course, I'm happy to help, but it takes a toll on my family and my newborn.
How much does a tunic and cloak usually go for?
Well, would you like it to be custom or something that is already pre-made?
I think pre-made would be okay. I don't.
Oh, well then, I mean, gold piece for everything that you need, and it does seem like you need new boots as well, and we can throw that in as well as you're willing to pay me. Not.
She kind of as you're willing to pay. She goes,
Not many people are willing to pay.
So for 1 gold for all those things?
I mean, most things are supposed to be free, and it is quite wonderful to see someone into the city that's not taking full advantage of the government's protocols.
Janu just reaches into his bag and gets a coin and just flicks it at her. He's like, "Go ahead and hook me up."
all right. So she gets you a pair of leather boots, a nice tunic that's not torn up, a hood and everything, just all new. And she goes, before she does, she's like, "Would you like us to?" Most everything just seems like this beige color. She's just like, "We can dye it quickly
if that's something you'd like.
Yeah, I'll take a kind of a light blue for the tunic and the darker blue for the cloak, if you will, and the boots just a brown.
Yes, and so the boots are leather boots, and so she gets you exactly what you asked for. This takes about all the stuff that you've done takes about 2 hours to get the sword and all this, and so
Real quick, as once she hands John the stuff, he takes. I mean, there's no fitting room. That's fine. He just takes off his old tunic and cloak, and
What do we see?
and Basil just sees a giant healed wound on his chest and back. Like definitely something's happened there. John, who kind of notices it for the first time as well. Remember he does have amnesia, so he hasn't really had his clothes off. So him, Basil, and the store owner all see the giant wound, and kind of like, oh man, and he puts on his new outfit.
Okay. So she also during this time tells you her name's she tells you her full name, but she likes to just be called Axel. Is just the short for her name, and that this is her store. That it's just her by herself, single mom, doing all this on her own, other than her shop makers in the back and kind of her labor. You see also, as going around, you see like a 70-year-old, I guess you wouldn't really know, but a tiefling laboring in the shop as well. Short hair, short straight brown hair, hazel eyes, tan dark skin as well, a little bit shorter than Axel, as well as a dragonborn in the back who's actually doing the seamstress work.
Is it okay to say that Johnny already had like kind of leather kind of armor on his hands ready from when he came in, or would I need to get that as well?
I would say probably you can get that as well.
Okay, yeah.
If you ask in the store for leather work, she says this isn't really a leather shop. They do have leather boots for walking, but that's what they're for.
Okay.
But they don't have the leather bracers.
Gotcha.
There,
I guess we're going to a leather store anyway, so.
Yeah. So as we walk out, I kind of walk to the direction of the store, and we walk almost. We come to the store and it's still closed. And about 5 minutes later, the open and Basil's like, "How in the world?" That was like 1,010 seconds. Did you do it 1,000 times?
That was like a bunny jillion seconds.
That was a lot.
Nah, it was an off day. It wasn't. I want to talk about it.
Basil's like, ears up, and it's like,
They just kind of.
I mean, what do you mean that's a bad day? That's it.
I'm used to pulling all-nighters. This was too short. No, I don't want to go any
Whole
further.
night? Like, 10... Oh, man.
he kind of looks like he did after he did in his performance the night before, just like,
Oh, I'm not good at what I thought I was.
All right, so after each one of us, Sloan, Janu, we make way outside of the shop, and Basil kind of has his head down and is just kind of waiting to see where y'all want to go at this point, because it's been about 2 hours and we have about an hour left to meet.
I still need some armor.
I mean, what you're looking for is at the leather store. I mean, might as well just go there now and just hang out there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. As we start walking that way, Basil's like, "Guys, we're supposed to go near the wall. We shouldn't just walk through the city. It might take a little bit longer."
Why do we have to go around?
Well, we told everybody that we'd be walking by the wall when we meet to the
No,
store. So if we
to
get
be fair,
separated-
we did say that around 3 hours. So, but I guess if you want to go around the wall, we can.
Well, things go wrong. That's what we were said to do.
I didn't know you were such a trail follower.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if we save them along the way, that would be the way to do it. What if they start walking this way early?
All right, fine. I used to all this walking anyway.
Basil's not really happy about his performance ineptivity. He didn't realize how inept he was. He thought he was a stud.
It's been ironically a hard 2 days for him.
Really hard. Yeah.
So
We finally make our way to Bildo, where we make it to the hide leather store. Once we make it there, we also you see Norm and Gwen already waiting at the shop as well with Mephilus as well.
And Gwen is now in cleric's robes.
Yeah, like full cleric's robes now.
I see you've been fully indoctrinated.
Not fully. They gave me a little script I haven't read yet, but they gave me these comfy robes, and he does spin and does a flourish.
Janu looks.
Eldath, who aren't in water.
Janu looks at Norm and is like, "Hey, you want to fill us in on what we missed?"
I do that. No, with Norm says, well, we've met some interesting foes. But the concerning part is that I believe that there has been they gave us a list of names of people that have gone missing throughout the city. I'm worried that this may be something far darker than even I think they know of.
Janu looks at Norm and is like, "Did you get tattoos, Norm?"
I think it's just kind of like right below the surface, all over him. No, we found that I am very capable of, I believe the phrase they used was ink stamping.
That could come in handy if we need to take people's signatures.
I've made
and
some
make our own
manuscripts, and I pulled out a couple of the papers with all the names on it, and
Have y'all been able to examine the names or anything yet?
none of them sound.
Before we get into like saving things, I'm just saying, if we get the signature of the mayor and we make our own documentations, we can kind of do whatever we want in this city. I'm just saying.
Talking about forging some documents.
Yes, absolutely. Like, if he can just, like, we could good to go. Just saying. I mean, just sorting it out. If we need to make it out like bandits and like have some money on our side, this might be a quick way to get in and out. I'm just, if all else fails.
I think it could be a good idea to write out some templates later on.
Yeah, I mean,
And then we could keep them with us for whichever town we get into where we just need a little help. Maybe getting out of jail, or maybe help stealing a body. You never know. One of those two things could happen.
Or-
Either of them.
Or possibly getting permission to look into deeper records than are just public domain.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
possibilities.
that's what I was
There we
going
go.
for. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
what I was
Yes.
talking about. Yeah,
Lots of
absolutely.
possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's one of the things we'll do.
Yeah.
Well,
Norm looks at Jono, and we just kind of lock eyes from it, like,
for now, I mean, I don't necessarily condone, but there seems to be something fishy going on in this town, and being able to do that might have its advantages. So,
I do have a question. Why is it that we've not seen the mayor other than in statues?
I think everyone kind of turns to Mephilus.
Well, as I'm aware,
Oh, we were talking about forging shit just like right in front of us.
he's like, well, it seems as though the mayor is quite to himself in his office, and he doesn't make his usual. I would say about 5 years ago, he was quite active in the community, and it seems as though, as of 5 years, he's not been this way. He's kind of been to himself, and I don't know how to describe.
How long are your election cycles?
Well, that's also a thing. He's been reelected over and over, but he was reelected about 4 years ago, and ever since, like as I said, 5 years ago, he kind of stopped being as proactive, and then he was reelected, and it seems as though, I mean, every 4 years we do reelection, so it's this year. from what I understand.
Hey Norm, can me, Solon, and Basil take a look at those names real quick? And then can we roll for perception to see if maybe we can see if there's any, like, if we can see maybe any connection that we might see with the names of the missing people? Is that something we can do?
As you look at the list of names, it kind of seems like the names are there, but like the dates they went missing is what's on the list. He only was able to give you the most recent 5. As you're looking down the list, they all have different names. They're all from different areas of town, but the most recent one is actually from Bildo as well.
Okay.
It was Dormlif was the name, wasn't it, that I said earlier? Or was it Grimnir?
I don't know that we actually got his
Okay.
first name.
Okay. So, Drumliff was the name that the most recent name was Drumliff Barrowpick.
Did they give us any? Was there any other information like where they worked or last places? It's just
Let's
It just kind of says where they're
date
from.
reported a name.
Well-
Yeah, where they're from, the date, and then their name. It doesn't say age or anything like that.
I mean, he's missing from Bildo. Bildo's kind of a small Solon. You wanted to go in the store anyways. Let's go get you some gear and ask this shopkeeper if he might know who this drumlet is.
the freshest corpse is always the easiest one to dig up. I think the most recent missing body is our best chance at finding out what's going on. I mean, we could save him too. He might be alive, or he might be dinner. Either way, it's a win-win for us.
I agree.
So, Mephilis taps your shoulder. You're getting better. This looks great. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Your journey's beautiful.
Norm's transferring themselves.
So as y'all are,
What'd be funny is it's your glove, right? But you don't have it inflated, so it's like
Full Baymax my way.
And like the pinky starts and then comes back in.
He raises it up and it's like,
so y'all are standing in front of this store, the shop itself, the hide leather. Y'all, this is kind of where the meeting point was. Y'all haven't made it inside. This is a medium-sized house. It's not as large as some of the other houses that you saw in the other parts of town in Belton, and it's not as small as that in Narwhal Norwal. And but here in Bildau, it seems as though these are like medium-sized. But unlike the rest of the town, this is all stone. Everything in this area is built out of stone. Very square, no flow to it. Very house by house by house by house in rows, very organized.
Is it a newer or older section? Does it look like that?
I would say it's about the same as the rest of it. It's just different construction, a different type.
Okay.
It seems like most everything out of the side of the city is newer construction.
But I guess is it like kept up? Like is
Yes, it's very organized and neat. As you walk in, you see two dwarfs kind of manning the shop, and one is kind of the front of the shopkeep, and the other one is the one doing the leather work itself. But it's open as you walk into the shop. It has. It's not like some of the other shops where it's done in the back. It's where you can see the work itself. You see the different types of hides. You see the different colors, the thickness. Just it's very visual. So you see what you are getting. It's not hidden or any. It's just black and white. Here it is. But yes, you see these two dwarfs.
I walk up to the dwarf that's running the desk.
It's a female dwarf as she's sitting there.
is she a 10?
That's a dwarf. Come on.
She's tatted.
Wait.
By the way, like
Wait.
Dwarfs only go up to 3'11".
Are we doing?
she's 4 foot. She's 4'8". She's actually a taller dwarf.
Or
But
8.
yeah, she's
That's a big dwarf.
yeah, she's quite large for a dwarf and has these intricate tattoos up her arms and that kind of come up to her neck. But then her braids kind of go over. She has 2 big braids that come down.
Beard or no beard?
No beard.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make bearded
I'm
dwarfs.
just checking.
Not in this world, not mine. There, you can tell the female from. Her hair kind of comes into what looks like it. No, it's just the 2 braids that come down. She goes. She's standing at the front, and she's actually reading a book, and she looks quite. She's in her book right now.
Excuse me, miss.
She kind of puts her finger up, like, "Let me finish reading this," and she goes.
1 second. All right. Yes. How may I help you?
I would like to purchase some custom armor, please.
My husband is the best leather armor maker in all of the city. I do say so myself.
We are
Insight
also
check.
new. We are also new here.
Good for you.
I'm sorry, the only reason that I need custom armor is because most people don't make room for my wings.
Well, we can make custom for anything and anyone. Beast or...
I don't have a large budget, so how can we work this out?
I don't know. Money? You have gold?
I have some gold, yes.
Well, I mean, custom... What are all the items that you're looking for?
Just some nice leather pieces to guard my chest and back area.
That is something my husband can do. Hey, Grimnir.
Oi! He kind of like pops it. What do you need, dear?
Well, this gentleman needs some armor. I think he would be better talking to you. I do the books. He knows the leather work.
And he's 4 foot tall, a lot shorter than his wife. His hair is very short, and it has like these waves kind of going through it, platinum hair. His beard is just white platinum and just braided immaculately. He puts beautiful leather in his beard, you know. And he makes it. He makes himself. He goes, "Oi, well, welcome to my shop. This is hide and leather. What can I do for you?"
Well, judging by the bands around your beard, I can tell you do high quality work. And
Yes.
I need some pieces that could accommodate my wings.
Turn around for me.
Okay.
He turns around. Open them. Do you want leather work that for your movement or not?
Someone slowly and cautiously opens his wings.
Now close them quicker. I need to see some movement. What I need to do with detail so it doesn't imbue your movement.
Close them.
All right. Open your wings. Can you fly for me a little bit in the shop? I know it's not.
He has a quick lift off.
I
but
do athletics to
it's-
see if you don't like hit the roof.
his wingspan's pretty big.
Yeah. Roll athletics to see if you hit stuff in the shop and.
Gosh. Yeah, he's not happy right now, so he's
Yeah.
definitely not trying to be graceful about it. It's
Yeah.
like straight, just,
Yeah.
just do a quick lift. 7.
Yeah, you knock some stuff off. He goes, "Oh, all right." Well, you're
you
not
asked.
great. You're not great. You're not that great at flying, at least in small spaces. But that's understandable. The shop's not very tall. Sorry for the quick request, but I just want to know what I need to get done for you to make it exactly what you want. So, you need a chest piece and some bracers. What else would you like?
Mainly upper body. Cover the vitals.
Yes, of course. That's something I can do. Do you need leather at home or anything else of this nature?
I can't cover this up.
Okay. And he goes, "Well, it's it'll be about 20 gold pieces for the whole attire to make it where it's functional for you."
20 gold.
Norm kind of like walks up and just like gold and silver pieces floating around in his head. Like, look over at him, look back.
Look, I'm new here. I don't have much money. What if I give you 10 gold pieces and I promise to make y'all a nice dinner tonight?
Dinner is not worth 10 gold pieces. It's food. It's sustenance. You don't need much more than that. Give me a good potato stew and I'll be good, but I don't need to pay you 10 gold pieces for a potato stew. My wife is quite... He kind of like, as soon as he says it, he goes, well, actually, I think we can work something out.
Stop.
He kind of like pulls you off this. He goes, this might be a strange request, but my wife recently is struggling to maintain the house and keep things clean and cook, and she's struggling quite a lot right now. So, if you and your friends could stick around for maybe 2 days, take care of shop, I'll make this for you for 10 gold pieces.
Does Norm hear this?
Yeah, he's a dwarf. He's not sugar. He's as loud and proud as they get.
How long are your store hours?
Well, our store hours are
I have to ask, like,
sundown, sunrise to about 2 hours before sundown. So, in that range, about 6 to 8 hours.
is the shop itself in any kind of like disarray? Is it
Yeah, it's not as like the leather. It seems like it used to be really well organized, but some stuff is knocked down. He didn't even go to pick up the stuff you knocked down, and his wife is kind of just sitting there, just reading her book, her head down in the book.
I can't make leather work for you, so are you guys going to go on vacation for a while, or?
No, I'll tend to the shop and do the things that I need to do. I just need you to clean the house and maybe put some stuff up and help me around, do some things to give Naldis a little bit of reprieve with some things. And as he says this, he's kind of he like almost looks, his eyes are watery.
I mean, can you expound on the issues at all? It seems like is there maybe something we can do, something we can solve maybe, that would keep us from having to maybe spend 2 days cleaning the shop and might get her back on her feet, if you will?
He kind of looks inquisitive at you, and he looks at everybody kind of in the shop, and he sees there's 2 clerics, and he just kind of looks around and and he goes, "Come with me." And he kind of takes you guys kind of back away from where his wife is at the front of the shop. You also see a little 4-year-old male dwarf running around, a really young dwarf, like crawling around, like just, and he takes y'all to the back and he goes, "What do you mean, services?"
If I may ask,
Yeah.
we've been told that there may be some disturbances in the city.
Well, what do you mean disturbances?
Does the name
Kind of just,
does the name
Insight.
does the name
yeah. Good roll insight.
Yeah.
which
Or to
one?
read your dice.
17.
Insight's not a good one for me. Sure.
Yeah, that'll.
Solon doesn't care.
Oh, insight is a good
I
one
got
for me.
17.
That's a 23.
Okay,
Roll.
yeah. So y'all two instantly,
+4 to insight.
y'all instantly catch on with his voice breaking with what you're saying. And you go, keep finishing your way.
I was gonna say, does the name Drumlet mean anything to you?
He just starts kind of like breaking down. That's my daughter. He just tears kind of start flowing down his eyes, just running onto his beard, trickling down. It's my daughter. What? How do you know her? What? Who are you?
Gwen, may I borrow the manuscript from earlier.
Yeah, let me just get your copy right here. All right, here you go. And I hand it over to you.
I take it and I show him. I said, we.
Wait, who? That is my daughter's name, and some of the other people has gone missing. But why? Do you have it?
I am.
We were almost taken yesterday, and we're trying to figure out what's been going on in the city, because all is not what it seems to be.
No, it's not. It's not at all what it used to be.
If I may ask, did you see what happened, or was it just sudden?
He starts breaking. It happened right in front of me. I couldn't even protect my own daughter. He starts crying. He just seems broken. My beautiful daughter taken from my hands. I couldn't stop them. They were too quick.
Can you tell us what these people, things looked like?
There were figures in cloaks, dark cloaks. I was walking my daughter back home. We had just I took her out for an evening stroll, just me and her. We've done this. She was just about to turn 6. It's near her birthday, and she's gone. She's. You seem kind of like trying to get composure. He looks. He goes. These men, whatever they are, they've taken my daughter. I haven't stopped every night looking for them.
Where did this occur? I ooze the map out of my head and grab it and open it up.
And he goes, it was in the most southern part of Bildo. It was near some of the residences, but also near a buckle maker. We were down just coming out of the forest, and they took my daughter. Sorry. We were walking back from the forest, from our stroll, coming back to the house. This is our house and our shop, and oh man.
Where did they come from? Did they come from the forest or did they come from the town?
I know where they went towards. I don't know where they came from. They went towards the town.
Would you mind showing us exactly where they took her?
Yes. If you do this, anything for free.
Wonderful.
It's like Norm says, before we go, I can at least do this. You see him kind of like ooze out of the clothes and kind of like put them down. And for lack of a better term, like liquidy Roomba all around. Just like picking up as much dirt and like detritus as he possibly can.
As you're doing this, the Dwarven woman, what are you doing?
Just full movement speed. I'm talking just full flubber.
And she's seen that it's like getting cleaned up, seeing what you're doing. She goes, "Why are you helping us? What's happening?" And she kind of like walks over to where you all and she, "What's happening, Grimnar?" He goes, "These 5 or 6 are here to save our daughter." And she drops to the floor and just in tears. And he's holding his wife in tears as well. And Grimnar is like, I'll take you. I'll take you where she was taken. It is now a little bit before noon. It's about 11 in the afternoon because y'all got there a little bit early. He takes you down to...
So I will say, as we're leaving, Gwen like reaches down and pats the little dwarf's head, and then as they start walking out, he turns over to Norm and goes, "He did say we could have anything, right?"
Norm stops and goes, "Wait. No. Think about what we are trying to do versus what you are currently wanting to do."
Okay, I can see how that would be problematic, yes.
John New looks at Malphilus and says, "Get your man."
Get your man.
Metellus looks at him and goes,
Hey,
"It is his journey, not mine."
Hey, I asked before I asked us before I asked him.
Baby steps, I guess.
Yes, that's really. Baby steps. He starts drooling.
Oh, now my tummy is rumbling.
So he takes you down to kind of the corner of where
Just pop the fingernail off like a little honey stick. It was like, and just sucks the marrow out. He's like a little gusher.
So y'all come to the corner of where Bildo meets the forest itself. There you kind of see the two stores, the houses that he was talking about. It's a culmination of 3 houses that are all right next to each other. One's a house, and then one's a buckle maker, and the other is a fur garments.
Can we all roll investigation?
I mean, he's just taking you to the point.
Okay, not there yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet. As he walks by, he comes to where the forest kind of is separated from where these houses are, and he looks. He goes, "Well, this is what my daughter was taking."
Now can we roll investigation?
Yes, go ahead and roll investigation.
I'm gonna fly up and I'm gonna do like an investigate, like look around,
4.
see if I notice any buildings that are like.
I'm gonna, once again, I'm gonna kind of flatten out and see if I can't. How long did he say it had been?
It had happened the night before, the same night y'all were taken.
I'm gonna see if I can like kind of suss out any footprint, like ooze out and kind of like
Yeah, go ahead.
hoover over it.
Go ahead and roll investigation as well.
9.
Should be great
11.
because investigations.
That's a good 11.
4.
Wow.
So nobody in the group actually sees.
This should have been a time for emphasis roll.
This is my first time. Okay.
Trying to help someone.
Exactly.
So, can Gwen?
You go to take off and it just blows all the dirt everywhere.
That's exactly. Away. So as you start flying up, the dust starts dusting as you go up in the air.
Wow.
And everybody's just like looking at the ground. Just dust is now in our face and eyes, and we're just like.
Perfect.
I don't see anything.
Norm now looks like a giant dust booger.
What were you gonna ask?
So, well, working that voice. How far are we from like the edge of the forest?
It's feet. So we are. So this is the little corner. right
Okay,
here.
so the very last
Yeah,
house on.
this-
Okay.
Yeah, he was walking by a residential house when they grabbed and took her towards the city.
So Gwen's gonna, after that, he's gonna say, "Well, I have quite a bit of experience in missing person cases.
You do?
I surely do. I'm gonna go check to see what I would do if I was a bad person, which I'm not. I'm a cleric." And he's gonna walk over to the.
He believes absolutely.
He's gonna walk to the edge of the forest and look at where, if he was gonna stalk somebody, like look at the trees, see if there's scuff marks where they were like sitting up in like the lower branches, see if there's anything in there that would maintain for more than a few.
Go ahead and roll investigation one more time, but with advantage.
I'm gonna try to stand where they were.
Your dice are garbage. So that's an 11 and 11 plus 0.
So
11.
I'm gonna try to stand like where they were and try to help him out by like giving him something to actually look at
My 11 and 11.
as they're standing there. If I can try to help him out.
I mean, he already rolled with advantage.
Oh.
So as you're looking, you do see exactly how you would do it. As you're sitting there, you see this perfect overhanging oak tree kind of at the edge that is branches over and even hides towards the city. So if someone's walking by, you could just grab and go.
So Gwen drops his cloak, climbs up in the tree, and disappears. And then, 3 minutes later, just jumps down with, a stick that he had sharpened and stabs it into the ground. I would do it like that! I would do it just like that!
The father freaks the F out. Who are you? And this doesn't. What is he? Why are you guys here helping me? He starts panicking hard.
This is part of the.
I thought you were a cleric. You were a madman. You're a psycho. Are you with the men that took my daughter? And he pulls his sword out.
But Norm looks and goes, wait.
He's just like huffing and puffing.
He is, granted, someone with history.
What?
However,
What?
we
Why do you
are
people-
actually trying to help.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah, that's a 2.
He's like, no, you're not. You're the ones that took my daughter.
No, wait.
Tell me to wait.
Look.
Roll initiative.
Gwen's just buckling a throw back on.
That's what happened.
What was that just a minute ago, you son of a bitch?
Wow. God, why did you do this?
22.
Okay.
That's how he needs to do it.
You have inspiration, by the way.
No, that's
why I
that's a 22. For
Okay, you're first.
Oh, no, I'm
You didn't get a 20. Yeah, bullcrap. You got a 2.
I got a 20, not natural.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Well, what's it we're rolling for?
Initiative.
So it's plus dex.
Where's it? So what am I?
Initiative bonus is +3 up there.
Oh, 8.
Okay. So yes, you will go first.
Wait, we're fighting?
Yeah,
He's attacking
He's
us.
attacking.
My guy.
Well, he's I'm not
He's
attacking.
No.
I'm putting on my cleric's
You
robe,
caused this.
and he's running across a field towards the woods to attack me.
Yeah, he's running to attack. Yeah, obviously he's going to attack.
We
you.
had an expert witness. Come
Yeah.
on.
So yes, it's to you, Norm.
Hold on, real fast. What is Malfeasance doing here? Like, why is he just standing around, not like?
He's like.
No,
He's- he's
Malfeasance stayed at the home to help with the mom.
How convenient.
He's like pacifism.
I do not interfere.
Oh, time to pray.
No, he's helping the mom because emotional distress, and that's all that he's
Oh, yes, of course.
pacifism.
Look, guys, we don't want to kill this guy. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's to you, Norm.
how close is he to killing one of us?
So he's like right in front of me, right?
Yeah, so he's right next to y'all, and as soon as he sees all this, he freaks out and starts turning to run.
I immediately, Norm immediately, like it's the, like, he's been trying to watch, like, people move around, and he, like, now he has kind of the body mechanics to understand. It's his time with the people that, like, the chimpanzee-ish kind of humanoids in the jungle.
Yeah.
Where he kind of learned how to move around and move quickly. Like, it's just the initial reaction. He goes to just cold cock this guy. Just a real fast, just catch him right in the sweet spot as he turns away.
Go ahead
from
and roll
him.
attack.
That is a 21.
That hits.
I have a +7 to my unarmed strike.
Yeah, that hits. He's wearing leather armor, but it still hits.
I want his face.
Go ahead and roll damage.
You explode too.
Oh no! That's 9 right off the bat.
Were you doing lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
He's
I
knocked
do
out.
not want to kill this man.
Yeah, he goes, ah! And you just like this slow motion.
just right in the right in the moneymaker.
Yeah, as you hit him, like your fist is almost solid, unlike it normally is.
Like it goes from kind of a liquid hand and just kind of like goes full oobleck and just turns into a rock as it flies through. Just
And then after it makes contact and it starts going, your hand kind of like softens and goes around his face too. But yeah, he just collapses and rolls to
Slapped
the
him
ground. Yeah,
unconscious.
just rolls to the ground.
Friends, there's no need for that.
It-
Don't let me go make amends with him and explain a little. I can understand that I can come off a bit abrasive.
Wow, these people are violent.
So yeah, Gwen walks over
Basil is
and just lays like
Norm is
think-
like
I think-
panicking, like,
I killed him!
oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know I could do that.
Johnny's just kind of like, these guys.
So Gwen stands over him a little bit and just kind of stares, cocks his head, and then kneels down next to him. Kind of like looks at his cloak, again, touches that same part of his tunic, makes a little clanging sound. Starts to put his hand on his chest, and then thinks about it again, lays down, like big spoons him, and then puts his hands on his head and casts, oh god, what is this spell called? Healing, or Cure Wounds.
Okay. Yeah. His face is swollen. Like, instantly, his jaw looks dislocated. Just, it was the best, like, perfect, like, right there where the jaw, like, pops out and, like, hits the eardrums.
I basically ear hold him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then as soon as he wakes up,
Yeah,
from the person, like, big spooning him, like, as I'm, releasing my arms and I'm picking it up, he just, Gwen casts command and just goes, breathe.
It's just like the CPAP.
Yeah, I mean, he just starts breathing because you have to be, what's the Constitution saving throw? Or wisdom saving throw. Yeah, he has 0. He's 10s across the board. So 10. Yeah, it's definitely below what you have.
And then Gwen will sit up, or I'll sit up.
And he's looking you directly in the eye. He has his hands are gripped around his axe and his short sword. He's just breathing and looking at
Hey,
you.
friend.
I apologize. I did not want to hit you that hard.
I know that was a very disturbing thing that you just witnessed, and it was very personal to you, and I hate that you had to go through that, but this is the only way that we can track down the people who took or might have harmed your daughter. Now, the good news is that would be how a seasoned assassin might do something bad, but don't worry, because I checked that area and I didn't see any signs of harm to your little girl there.
Okay.
So that means that we know that they weren't just after hurting, and we know that they might not have been quite the seasoned professionals.
Johnny puts
All
his...
those things could make it easier for us to help find your daughter.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I was gonna say, John, who puts his hand on Gwen and says, "Besides, she was taken alive. You were there when it happened. So sometimes, sometimes to track the bad men, we have to think like the bad men. That's all Gwen was trying to do."
I'm alive.
13.
Yeah, you beat it too. He's still just breathing.
So yeah, Gwen will stand up and give him.
1 round.
Okay, so yeah, after
Gwen stands up
you
and
gotta
gives
just
him
stop.
some space.
You see the white knuckle on the, just kind of relaxing. Goes, really, who are you guys, and why are you willing to help? If you're not in this, like, why? You're new to this city. Why? It makes no sense.
You offered us reward. Isn't that strange, really?
For some, it's for reward. For others, just a gut feeling to do the right thing.
It's the reward for me.
That's fair.
You looked really sad, and
Of
we
course
can
I'm
help.
sad.
We-
My heart, half of my heart is gone.
Exactly. That's why we're doing it.
You
Trust
kinda-
me, in my experience, one half of the heart isn't quite as delicious without the other half.
I have a question.
He
Did
drops a weapon.
Well, in context,
him
this
getting
isn't necessarily
like
culinary
knocked
terminology.
out, did it like maybe ruffle some memories of anything maybe he didn't remember before?
No.
It probably caused some brain.
I did this. No, he goes.
Why can I suddenly speak Spanish?
El dead. He goes, well. So when I standing under this tree with my daughter, we were walking back. They grabbed her from my hands. We're wearing the black cloaks, as I said before. And
One of them wasn't like a rat creature, was it?
Yes. Was there any kind of height disparity between the two?
no, the two men that took my daughter, they're about the same height.
there's nothing much different about them.
You
They were
couldn't- You couldn't
they're
tell
taller
any,
than I, about five something.
no features or anything like that.
No, the cloak stood about 5 something.
I was thinking maybe it could have been the same 3 that tried to.
Well, it couldn't have been the same 3 that attacked us if it was at the same time at night that we got attacked over by the
Well, we got
gods.
attacked during the day though,
It was towards the night after the performances.
because if
towards the
well,
evening and
'cause if the guards let him go. But that's just me theorizing. That's just it's a side note. This is just Josh, not Johnny. That that's
Norm says, "Wait, we were attacked the same evening. What is the date?"
It's 201st year after. So it's the 201st year after the War of the Gods, and it's summer. So it's like midsummer.
You see him. Once again, you see like stuff moving around. You see the gears turning. He goes, "Has this been happening on a regular schedule?"
I don't know.
We check the dates. I mean, is there a regular schedule?
Y'all see that it looks like it's almost on every 30 days. About 30 days from each other. As it is midday, or now it's midday. It's about every 30 days.
Did your daughter come through the portal? Or have you all lived here?
I mean, me and my wife came through at different times, and we were fortunate enough to find each other. I mean,
But not recent.
No, it's been about 20 years since I've came through, and my wife is about 5 years after me.
Were
About
you
15.
children born here?
Yes, I mean, my son is 4 years old and my daughter is 5. I mean, we met each other about 5 years after my wife coming through, and after about 5 years of courting each other, we got married and had our children.
You don't owe anyone money, do you?
Kind of puts his head. Well, I mean, the city.
You owe the city money.
There's taxes.
Have you not paid them?
No, I don't feel like paying taxes to some society that doesn't help its citizens outside the wall.
Interesting.
But we were also, almost taken, and we don't owe any money. So,
But the vice mayor didn't like us very much.
this is true. But would he have had enough time? Because they were shadowing us pretty quickly.
I mean,
Once
they
we
were
left.
shouting at us right when we left the vice mayor's office.
Well, I mean, I would say, is there anything else that you, sir, can tell us or help us out with? If not, I think, I don't want to speak for the group, but I think we are going to try and get your daughter back for you. If whatever God you believe in willing, she is still alive.
He looks-
Refresh my memory, but these guys were all arrested, right? At the end
Yes.
of our first.
Yes.
He looks over to you and he goes, "Well, if you're going to go save my daughter, you need to be protected before you go.
Sounds good.
Is there anything else that y'all need to do this?"
Use some little leather gauntlets.
Soren could definitely use some protection.
All right.
Talking about your sexual activities.
Basil's like, how did you know about that?
I can smell it.
He goes, you see the little bunny nose going, "You're right." Smells disgusting.
Like burning.
Burnt flesh and
But not in a good way.
like burnt oil and flesh and
Look,
Like hot motor oil and mayonnaise.
don't worry. I cleanse with fire after every session.
You should get that looked at.
The
Fire crotch method is very common where I'm from.
Grimnar like, well, I mean, yes, come to my shop. Let's get you taken care of.
And for the next 4 hours,
I'm
he
making
said,
montage.
And I'm gonna. We'll ask him also, if, like,
Yeah.
since he knows the
Hammering
names,
leather.
if
Yeah,
there's
y'all-
age discrepancies,
very heavily.
if there's like these guys, some of these people have families
So
and some don't.
he doesn't.
Any type of.
So as you show him the list, he doesn't know any of the names around there. I mean, everything is just from all over the town, but it's all on the outskirts of town. Not a single thing has happened on the inside of town, from what y'all can see. So y'all were the only thing that happened inside town.
So other people that might not be paying their taxes.
And so, so he goes after the next 4 hours. Also, the wife is making potato soup for you guys and getting you guys some stuff to be prepared. She seems like now that there's kind of like a glimmer of hope, you put down her book and kind of getting outside herself and taking care of their son and getting stuff moving around.
Meanwhile, Norm's like reorganizing shelves and
And then as the door opens, it looks like a half elf male walks through the door. He has long curly dark blonde hair, hazel eyes, light skin. He's about 5'5", pretty muscular actually. And he comes. He goes. He kind of like looks at the you guys in the shop and he goes, Grimnar, who are these? And he goes, well, don't worry about who they are. I needed you to come in quickly to help me finish this work as soon as possible. Come to, and he like gets him straight to work. So it looks like it's his hand.
So is it buff elf?
Yeah, absolutely, just shredded, like 5'5", I would say probably like 185.
Takes advantage of his half human.
shredded or cut.
Shredded. Okay. Yeah, like he's 180 shredded at 5'5", so pretty muscular.
That's pretty good.
It is really hard for an elf to get that much protein.
Yeah.
Half elf. Takes advantage of that human half.
Okay, so
Yeah. So, and he's doing this. He's talking to you guys, asking him where y'all from, and y'all tell him kind of a little bit about y'all's stories. He seems more involved in talking to you guys than Grimnar and Nodis. Grimnar and Nodis are very quiet, introverted, but it seems like this elf is very.
Has that elfin dexterity? You can multitask.
Yeah,
It's
just,
He's got that
he says
good,
y'all
good
can call him
ADHD.
Thonal.
it's the right amount of Ritalin.
Or sorry, Thonful. Y'all can call him Thonful as his name. That's
Thonful?
yeah, Thonful. He tells about how he came to town and that Grimnar was one of the nicest guys, helped him get a job when a lot of people wouldn't. And he kind of shows that there is that camaraderie among the people that live on the outskirts. Like they take care of each other more than anything else. With Mephelis in there, you kind of see a glimmer, a smile in his face, seeing that people are taking care of people, and as well. And it just seems like everybody in the shop's working with each other towards a common goal. So after about the 4 hours pass, your leather armor is made. Your braces were done after like 30 minutes, quite quickly. And the leather itself. Grimnar apologizes that it's not the most eloquent leather work in the time he had. He just wanted it to be something to protect you, and it is the hardest leather you've ever put on. Like it's almost feels like metal.
I try to move my wings a bit.
And when you move your wings, it like where your wings move and appendages, it feels like there's nothing there.
Hard where it needs to be, supple where it has to be.
Exactly.
So now that everything's done, I
know my family motto.
I think we're about to leave, but I think before we do, I kind of turn to Grimnar and Thonfall's there as well, and I say, well, I have a couple ideas about what I might want to do, but is there anyone, whether it's here in Bildo or the surrounding kind of towns where they might know information or how to get information?
Basil's like, oh, I'm very good at getting information from people, as it seems like our friend Solon is as well. I think we should just go straight to the mayor and go straight to the city hall and go for the documents of the people and put our foot down.
I agree. I still need to do some more tests with this baby. And I tap my whip.
He looks at that and Basil's like, that's
If
He goes,
If I may,
someone just smiles. Really.
I think that we should probably look at all of the paperwork first before we go doing things to people.
I'm not good at reading paperwork, are you?
No, neither am I. I think we
Well-
should just go straight to where we think the problem is, and that, obviously that's it. That's
I
it.
mean, if we
I've-
need to steal paperwork, Gwen would be the ideal solution because
Because
Gwen.
I'm really good at stealing shit.
Well, and you're really good at hiding from people.
well, you're
as
really
well.
good at killing people.
Well,
but
Yes, I
if I
was.
I know. He says you might be good at murdering them. Quite.
But he's also
excellent.
good at hiding himself away from being detected as well.
But what if we
I'm a
used a
sneaky little
combination of our skills? You could go and at the very least create a distraction. Meanwhile, we could copy all of the paperwork we needed. We wouldn't need to remember it. We could literally take it.
Oh, you mean that
I
ink
don't
stamping
think it
thing
would
you were
work
talking
because
about?
it's not
Yes.
fresh ink, though.
Oh.
Don't worry. I can become quite moist.
How long will you have to sit on this piece of paper?
Find out.
I guess the two options are
We could just take them with us.
splitting up or going. You said right to the. What was the?
Worst case.
I'd say go straight to City Hall and go put our foot down and figure some things out.
The straightforward. Everywhere where I'm from knows how to do this stuff, so don't worry about it. We're all taught. Very skilled at getting
Now,
information out of these people.
I
would that
have-
mean confronting the assistant mayor?
Well, I mean, why
When you
go
say put
in?
your foot down?
So you say make a distraction. Why do we have to go distraction? We can go in.
Didn't he say his office was open to us if we ever need to talk to him?
Yes, this is true. Why do we need a distraction when we can go in? I feel like we can go in quite quietly.
That's and I think what Soren was saying, we're new to this town, and apparently people going missing every 30 days is something we would rightfully have a question or two about, just for our own safety and the safety of others. So I think we can go on it now. If you want, we can do a little just in case and have one or two of us stay back in case the first group talking politely doesn't work. The second group can go sneaky.
Okay, you can talk politely.
I don't think that's going to work. Apparently.
But he's like, I have.
You're the dad. We'll follow your lead on this one. I also,
You're a father.
I do think that
Yes.
we should have something from you or Mama to show to your daughter when we find her, so that she won't be scared of going with us, and she'll know that we're with you.
Well,
Make her little heart feel all happy and joyful.
all right. Well, here's some things about my daughter. She's about 2'8". She has very long, straight red hair. Her eyes are ember like fire itself. Her skin is quite pale.
Interesting.
She's
2'8", red hair. What was else?
long red. Her hair is very long, straight and red. She has eyes like fire, ember itself. She looks like she's from the forge, one of the embers in the forge. Has pale skin. She is quite to herself, like her mother and I. Very agreeable, softest heart you've ever met. But the only thing is she's very emotionally unstable.
In what way? What kind of outburst does she
She's
have?
sad. She's the saddest sad you'll ever see. If she's angry, it's the angriest angry you'll ever see.
Got
If
it.
she's happy, she's the happiest you'll ever see.
Like fire.
Yes. She has trouble speaking still. For some reason, she doesn't talk. She makes sometimes baby noises and cooing noises, and but she doesn't really talk at all.
Is there anything she does respond to?
Do you have a song or a nickname you call her?
Or maybe a fine piece of leather that she's grown fond of in this shop?
Do we need to dangle a book over her head or something? Or
No, probably
Any
the
knives
best.
or sword she likes?
He kind of smokes you. I wouldn't feel safe leaving that with her. But she is fond of this, and she pulls out a leather doll, a doll made out of leather. He's like, I made this for her when she was born. It is her favorite thing in this world. And it's a bearded woman. The Dwarvens of old that he's told. He's like,
Should we roll to see who has the highest number to see maybe who carries it with them?
I'm not touching it.
he puts it out. Who grabs it?
I say either way.
I'll take it.
Okay. He says her name is D-U-R-M-L-I-F. Durmelf.
So spell that one more time.
D-U-R-M-L-I-F. I call her U-R-M. Is the nickname I give her.
What was his name again?
Grimnir.
Grimnir, yeah.
Gimnir.
Grimnir?
Grimnir, yes.
Gwen's standing like uncomfortably close because that's so.
Yeah.
In canon, always stands uncomfortably close to everybody. So just like right in front of him, just looking. Well, no, he like squats down slowly so they're eye to eye and goes, Grimnir, I make you a solemn promise. We will bring your daughter home. I can't tell you what that's going to look like, you know that, but we will bring your daughter home. We'll come home.
Tears just start trickling down his face, and he smiles and gives you a hug.
I've never had.
And it's a really solid, like, he's
It's
hug.
Dwarf bro hug.
Yeah, he's inside you. No, but he pulls you in, and you are like, and you can hear his heart beating, and it's calm.
Gwen just kind of like looks over at like what to do with his arms.
Norm does this.
So looking at Norm.
Basil puts his thumb up.
All right. So Gwen puts both of his hands over the dwarf's ears and just starts squeezing a little bit, and just looks around.
He's like, Norm gives you a thumbs down. I walk up
He
to
just
Basil.
moves his hands.
Basil and I go like this.
He just puts his hands out to the side like, I'm just gonna accept this.
And as this happens, the wife comes and gives you a hug as well.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable
Listen,
right now.
we point at Johnny and like, come here, and like show him slowly.
patting the shoulder, like, don't touch anything else but the shoulders.
They're that kind of a couple.
I'm gonna try to stealthily withdraw. Or no, that didn't happen.
Go ahead and roll Dex versus his strength.
Okay, so that's a 10.
Oh, it's a 3.
11.
Yeah,
Okay.
he rolled a 3, and so you kind of pull out. He goes, I'm sorry.
I just limp noodle straight to the ground and crawl through his legs.
He's like, oh. He goes, I'm sorry if I overstepped any bounds, but this is the first time we've had hope in this city.
No need to apologize at all. I totally understand, and I'm happy for your happiness. I've just never been embraced by somebody that didn't end up in the ground before, and it's a new experience for me, and I thank you for it. I just need time to process it before I gotta go outside, guys. I gotta go. And he just walks straight up, just eyes, just unblinking.
Still smiling.
Just 1,000-yard stare, just walks straight outside.
Dilated.
Yeah. Just wide. Like he just took a hit of acid.
Real quick, can I roll to see if, like, while this is going on, if, like, is there a mood from the aide Dawnfall? Like, is he, like, kind of like, yeah, this is good to get the daughter back, or is it more like, I don't like that these people are helping?
Oh, no, he's ecstatic.
Okay.
Yeah, you look, he's ecstatic.
Okay.
Grimnir is like a father to him.
Okay, cool.
Brought him into under his wing. Like, no, like,
Okay.
he's talked to you guys for the last, like, the hours while he was making things. He's telling you guys, like, that this is the greatest saying.
Trying to get an elf-to-elf feeling, or
Yeah.
Hey, he's got
how's
pointy
his
ears.
how's his mentor feel about what just happened? Or is he still hanging around?
Oh, no, Grimnir?
No,
The priest. That
the-
was,
Oh, the priest.
God, I can't remember
Oh,
his name.
he's
Mephistopheles.
exactly.
He's like,
No, Mephilus follows you as you go outside, but he doesn't talk to you. He's kind of just off to the side. He's here.
He's like pushing people out of the way, like, let him have his moment, let him have his moment.
This is his. Thank you. Like,
So-
you're saying praise Aldith as he walks outside.
have we determined if we're staying together and going just straight to the records room? Is it the records room?
Well, I mean, there's two ways that we can do this. We can go in straight to the vice mayor, and we can ask questions. And well, I do this with maybe.
Aren't you supposed to speak to the authorities when these problems
Yes,
arise?
exactly. And
Yes, but
we can talk to Sloan. You and I can talk, and then while this happens, you three can.
You know what? That may be a good idea to maybe have
Maybe
them
you
two
three.
go separate or three, whatever, because he didn't really like the way things ended with Gwen last
Well,
time.
that's why I'm talking. Myself and Sloan go and talk our way. And while this happens, you three go to the documentation people, whoever, because as far as we understand, the documentations are free for all people to look through and make copies, get notes, signatures. I wink over to Norm and do what we need to get as much information as possible.
I mean, it's not a
we
bad
can get
idea.
it from the mouth of the servant, or we can get it from the.
Because I don't think the vice mayor will be as receptive as if Gwen was there anyways. No offense, Gwen, but
Gwen's just looking at his hands and then like looking up at the house and back down to his hands. He's like, I don't know what to do with these anymore. And just starts scratching at his arms, like leaving gashes.
Oh,
of
as
blood.
you
He's
start,
like, I don't know what to do with these anymore.
as you start doing that, Mephilus actually starts healing your wounds, and he says, "Yes, you do. I think you do. You can bring light to others." And then he kind of puts his head up. He goes,
sorry.
It seems as y'all have a great task ahead of you. I'm going to go back to the temple. It seems as I'm not going to be of any help with you at the city hall. What can I do from the outside? Tell me. There's nothing I will do to obviously create harm for others, but what can I do?
Maybe not create harm, but is there any way you could draw the guards away from that main building somehow?
I can. No.
Can you keep an eye out and see if anybody comes in or out that, or has any, discussions, anything like that may relate or pertain to us? Maybe
Yes, I can.
guards and stuff that
I
wouldn't
can-
normally be there that show up after we get in.
Look
I
for
will-
suspicious persons.
Yes, I will stay outside City Hall and look for anything suspicious that stands out.
The signal is caca,
Kaka.
caca.
Kaka?
You got it.
I love the audio spike. as the only person wearing headphones in here is like, oh god.
So
And your sound guy's deaf, so that's gonna be great.
all right, so
I forgot about volume control.
So City Hall is quite close to Bildo. It is, if you were to go to the city wall directly from Bildo, you can go through one of the towers. Each tower is a way in and out of the city. There's a tower that goes directly to City Hall from Bildo. It's quite close. Yes, this one right here. So. Mephilus takes you to the city wall. As y'all walk through, y'all easily make it through. Nobody questions y'all walking through the main tower as y'all walk towards City Hall. As y'all walk towards City Hall, this is about 1 or 2 in the afternoon after y'all have done everything. Well, no, because you made stuff. This is about 4 o'clock in the evening now at this point, because it was about 4 hours since for everything being made. Y'all make it to City Hall. It's bustling, just as busy as the first day y'all got there. It seems as though some people are wrapping up. Not everybody, but some people look like they're wrapping up and leaving from work. Yeah, exactly.
So since there seem to be
no problems before, Sullivan is just going to walk straight up to the mayor's office.
Basil walks right with you.
Yeah, from the outside.
The mayor or the assistant?
The assistant mayor's.
Okay.
When we were there, was
Basil's
there a window
right next to you.
There was a window in the room, right?
Oh, there's windows. Yeah. Oh,
okay.
No, yeah.
So can we can we see which one that is?
Go ahead and roll investigation, I guess, to see if you find it by chance.
Do not.
You and I are going straight in.
So I think it was a 6. That one, 6.
Yeah, it's a 6.
1.
Wow.
Well, I rolled a 2, so I point to the wrong window and go, "Hey, Phyllis, if you need to give us a signal, we'll be up in that room right there."
Phyllis gives a thumb and he goes,
Yeah, if you have any other way to get us a signal in there, breaking a window
I
or
can do
any type,
prestidigitation and have light shine in there and blind everyone. That if people come at you,
well, that could be perfect.
if
Like a
I
little
mean, if things go
sunbeam
awry,
from above.
if you hear it crashing through the window, close your eyes.
Thank you, Phyllis. We'll see you soon.
I love that he's Phyllis now.
not just Phil. So yeah, y'all make it through City Hall. Solon and I just walk through City Hall like we own the place. As we go to the door starts to open, and standing there is the assistant mayor as the door is opening, and he has like books and bags in his hand, like he's trying to leave. He has,
Great to see you. We need to speak.
Oh well,
You said your
What's-
office was open at any time, so we decided to
What?
stop by.
anytime the building's open, we were just closing for the evening.
I was just about to close. I think you meant to say so. It's okay. We can speak.
Yes, I mean my doors are always open. Yes, come in, come in. He kind of like
What
backtracks.
is the male version of a Karen?
That is what you see. So yes,
It's a fiddle.
Phil. That's probably true, actually.
It's all because of Modern Family, Phil.
I think it's a Kyle.
yeah. So yeah, y'all walk in to the assistant mayor's office, and it's a female, not a, or no, it is a male. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's a
The
male.
Dragonborn.
Yeah, he has the fake blonde hair and everything, almost like a wig. But he's 6'4". I mean, he's quite large. He goes,
I'm 6'4" also.
please come in, come in. Yes. Goes back to where his desk normally is, sits down, sets his stuff down. Just there's no paperwork on the desk. He's just sitting there. And well, what can I do? I mean, what's this pleasure? I mean,
Oh. We're not here for that.
Well, I mean, what are you here for? If you don't mind me asking. This is your second day. I hope everything you.
No, it's been absolutely terrible.
Oh, that's awful news.
We've been attacked the first day. We're told everyone's getting kidnapped.
You were
every
the
month.
ones that were attacked yesterday?
Of course we were.
Well, this is alarming news. There have been things popping up that are disheartening to me as the assistant mayor. Please,
Inside joke.
Okay.
Well, he did that in character. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Solid
It's
six.
a 19.
with his 21,
Go.
and Basil's 27. I rolled a nat 20 for Basil. Yeah. For you, he seems very cordial. Basil's just sitting with his arms, just quietly listening, ears up, erect, very erect.
Erect.
Erect, yes. He's like,
well, this is quite alarming. We want every citizen here to feel safe in Eldoria.
I'm glad you think so, because we need your assistance in a matter.
Absolutely anything.
So there are these kidnappings apparently happening once a month.
Kind of sits back and he goes, yes, this is one of those things that I said was quite alarming to me as an assistant mayor.
But don't worry, it's only happening to the poor people.
once again, this is still part of that alarming.
I'm glad you think so.
I mean, I know so. This is something that I've been working diligently on, trying to find the perpetrators.
What have you found so far?
Well, there's one group that stands out more than any other. There's a group that has appeared in the last 4 years called the Dark Tears.
And did you think it was a friendly social group when you first heard of them?
Because of course not. We've kept our eyes on them as soon as they started to appear. They've grown in power more recently.
Just them and the kidnapping murderers, but it can't be them.
But yes, things are linking to be the Dark Tears.
How did you hear the name Dark Tears if you haven't caught any of their members yet?
We have, thanks to you guys the other day, we captured 3 of them.
So they were members of Dark Tears.
Yes.
Good to know.
They're still in prison, and if there's anything I can do, are you willing to assist the city in trying to stop these things? Stop these?
We will do anything for proper compensation.
Of course. We would properly compensate you. I don't think anything, no expertise should be free.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because extracting
so.
extracting information is an expertise of mine.
Basil jumps on the table at this moment.
As rabbits do.
As rabbits do. And his softer tone is completely gone. He goes, "Quit your bullshit."
Oh, my furry friend, what's the matter?
He's a load of crap. Everything that is spewing from his mouth is a lie.
What?
I can feel the beat of his heart I can feel it with my ears. There's spewing lies and lies and lies. What is going on here in this town?
Interesting. So you're a lie-breathing dragonborn.
The dragonborn stands up profusely, like pushes the chair back, and he goes, "How dare you make idle threats to me? I am the assistant mayor. I'm not lying to you. This is quite concerning, and it is the Dark Tears. You can go to the prison and find out for yourself. Making false accusations to a public servant who is here to help you and help all the citizens here."
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, Basil.
Yes.
What was he lying about?
He's lying about the concern of his people.
Oh. So you're not a concerned assistant mayor.
I am extremely concerned of my citizens. What? How dare you?
Which citizens are you concerned about? Are they the ones
All
that
the
pay
citizens.
their taxes on time?
He kind of doesn't.
Because I've noticed
If you-
that some of the missing people are part of families that haven't paid their taxes on time.
I don't know anything about that. But
You
what I
don't?
do know is these citizens are being.
Is it the actual mayor that keeps charge of who pays their taxes on time?
His head kind of looks down and kind of looks at the table and he goes, "Yes."
Really, what do you do? Are you just the smiling dragonborn face?
No, I mean the head mayor. He's in charge of the finances and in charge of security. I take care of the infrastructure and
Like paying taxes?
No, he takes care of the money. He wouldn't let me. I was supposed to, but it's not something he gave to me as he has in the past.
Interesting. So you used to be in charge of the people that pay taxes?
Yes, not until 5 years ago.
Basil, is he telling the truth?
Basil is just standing on the. Yeah, he's telling the truth. His
Well-
concern for the citizens is more concern for the government's pocket.
Ah.
Pops off the desk and. I don't know how much help he'll be. And he's like, "Oh, I'll do anything to help. I want the city back to where it was."
Wonderful. So can you take us to the prisoners then?
Yes.
And then also we would have to see the mayor after this.
Well, the mayor's not here.
Where is he?
He's gone out of town.
Out of town.
Yes.
To where?
To meet with some of the other towns.
Exactly where?
Let me pull out his schedule.
That's so way too opposite side of it.
The entire continent.
You can just make up names and put them on the map later.
Bishop looking.
Turn de fleur.
Sounds elvish.
Why?
That's how gnomes should talk.
So all of the gnomes speak Swedish chef.
He went to Murin. It's the closest town. The other closest city.
When will he be back?
Within 3 days.
Wonderful. Well, let's go talk to these guys and see what information we can extract from them. Are they chained up?
Absolutely.
Are their backs to me or away from me when I enter the cell?
They're facing.
Okay.
I guess their backs are away from you.
All right. That's good to know. I'll need you to not be in the room.
Roll persuasion. Basil looks to the side too and he goes, I know the concerns of your heart. I will let the city know everything about you. It seems as though you have some good intentions, but those of the people that money that is filling your pocket seems more important to you. The city will find out, and you and the mayor will lose your powers and your position if you do not do as he requests.
And I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 19 as well. He rolled a 3. I had 19 plus 7, so he goes. Yes. He looks completely defeated. His demeanor that he's put on is gone, and yes.
Blonde highlights aren't quite platinum.
The wig falls.
The wind blows. It kind of lifts up and flops down. And he goes,
Exposure.
Mage hand. Just turn it. 360 or 180.
Is that torture?
he goes, well, let me take you to the prison, I guess. Right. Well, my day's over anyways. I can take you to where you need to go. And he takes you. What are the rest of you three doing as this is going on?
This could be a long process.
Gwen's gonna stay with Janu until he sees something that tells him to do something.
Yeah, I think we're
trying to get the records, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get the records.
yeah. I think we're kind of we're going around the building as best we can. Not necessarily like trying to sneak, but
Well, it's public record,
yeah,
so
be,
I mean,
be as like
Okay.
nonchalant.
So-
So y'all came into the city or the city hall. Y'all came inside as well.
yes.
Okay. As y'all go inside and y'all walk around, you do find an area that has city records. You see a little division that does say city record, and you see some half orcs kind of in the background over there.
Now, just for my clarification, we're going to look for the missing people, correct? Because they keep
Yes.
record. Yeah.
Like names, ages, well, basically personal information for these.
Are these half orcs? Are they like working for?
Yeah.
So
It looks as though they are about to close shop as well.
So we go up to them and like, hey, we'd like some information on some of the missing people that have gone missing.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I'm trying to put up stuff for the end of the day.
but it's not the end of the day yet.
I've worked a long week. It's almost to be a weekend, and you're going to make me work a little later for some documentations.
As
Norm
is,
puts a gold coin on the counter.
What can I help you with?
You're catching on real fast.
This looks like to be. You see, this looks like to be an older orc male. Nasty looking, almost like mustard skin, like
not pleasant at all. Warts on his face, big gnarly teeth. He goes, "Yes, how can I help you?" You are not in his sight. He's looking right at the.
We are looking for the personal information for these names, and I put the sheet on the desk.
Are they relatives of yours or something?
No, but they are pertinent for something that we are working on for the city.
Roll deception. Sorta.
But we not deception.
I mean, he's helping
I'm
the
not
city.
lying.
Yeah, he didn't say the government.
Yeah. That's why. Persuasion or deception?
Perception?
Persuasion? Decision?
Neither
Roll
of them are
talkie good.
Yeah.
It-
Roll
it-
talkie good.
No, we'll talk you real bad.
Okay.
Can anybody help?
Can you add persuasion and deception together?
Add both rolls.
It's a 15.
It beats
Plus
his 8.
something?
No, minus. It's a 17 minus 2.
Yeah. It's an 8. And he goes,
Real bad at talking.
All right, take a look into it. I mean, you are making me work a little later, but you've paid the wages.
and he goes through and goes to the back. And you hear him.
I would like to follow him into the back and like sneak to the side once he gets.
You hear him.
Labrog, get over here. We're looking through these documents.
But why do I have to hear?
Shut up. We're going to do this quickly before the night's over. We have some customers. It's our duty. It's our job. It's what we do.
Do I hear this?
Absolutely.
I audibly put another coin on the desk. It's like,
Neither of them notice.
oh.
He goes, but why do I have to? He goes,
Labrog, it's your job. I just got you this job. Now don't ruin it for me. Your family, do as I'm told.
and he goes, fine. He goes back and you hear them rattling through papers and some desks opening, and it takes probably about 15 minutes with the two of them, and they come out, and then they have a list of all the names, where they live, ages, nothing about them missing. But
Does it include like if there's any debts or anything or unpaid stuff?
yes, it does.
How old what is the average age?
The ages range. There's no similarity to age itself. You're able to see that either if it's a young kid, their family's in debt to the city, they're not paying their taxes, or so on and so forth.
Is that the similarity for all of them, or is there a similarity for the 5 that we see?
The only similarity you see is that there's debt to the city.
Now, I ask, are these the official documents, or can we take
These are the
with
most
us?
current records, but I mean, oh, you mean like, do we need them? No, we have copies on copies. These are for the public records for this for citizens if they request.
Beautiful. I appreciate you.
He sees that there's another coin. He goes,
You're welcome. Is there anything else that can help you before time's up?
If I have any needs down the road, could you assist me in the same fashion?
I'm at your service.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
What? If you don't mind me asking, who am I doing the pleasure of business with?
You may call me Norm.
Wonderful to meet you, Norm. They call me Lub.
Wonderful to meet you as well, Lub.
he goes,
And my friend helping is Snod.
Snod.
Snod, yes. If you ever need help, ask for Snod or Lub.
I will do so.
hey,
Just like gives him thumbs up now too.
he gives him a thumbs up. Like,
Is Gwen still hiding?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. When they went to the back room, was there an opportunity for me to?
they're the only two in the area.
Okay. So in that back room, when they come back out, and I'm like alone in there. Is it? I guess just look straight up like
It is just
it's well organized, or is there sections that are like anything that's like locked off, or anything that's?
yes, there is a door that is locked. That's in that back area where like it's just if you look at it, it's just like rows of documents. If you think of it like a traditional old library where instead of where books are, there's rows of that where you can pull drawers out and then where paper files are. One says like official documents, city documents, and like where it's for the citizens, where it's official documents, and then in the back area it's just locked, has no title of anything.
Okay. Is there any, like, in the keyhole or under the door, anything like that, where there's any gap where I can... I know I won't be able to see anything, but see if there's light coming in, or if it's just pitch black on the other side?
Yeah, as you look in, you can see it's pitch black.
All right. I'm going to cast Detect Good and Evil, looking through that to see if anything glows from that darkness.
No, as you detect good and evil, you don't sense anything on the other side. Like, it just seems void, I guess, from what you can tell. But you don't sense any good or evil in
That's all I really wanted. So I'll walk back out
Yeah.
and try to do it without them noticing.
I rolled a 1 perception. You walk around doing whatever you want.
So Norm stops and turns. He goes, actually, there's one more thing. If you can get me the information. I apologize.
See what I can do.
Do you have any information about the city's mayor?
What about the mayor? Well, he's been mayor for about 12 years now.
When Quinn hears that, he just stops and walks backwards back into the room and starts searching for the mayor's records.
I go ahead and roll investigation.
Anything that may...
That would be a natural one.
So as you hear, as that happens, you hear something fall through. What? And they start running back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hide behind the knockdown bookshelf.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
Three
It's like
plus.
style.
Who are you and
All right, so that's an 8.
Yeah, no. They're like, what are you doing back here?
Who are you?
Well, this isn't where I parked my carriage.
What do you mean, Karen? They see how old you are. They're like, are you lost?
I'm trying to help.
I'm not found.
They now look confused. They're like,
What are you doing back here? I mean, all you have to do is ask us to grab your documentation and we can get it for you. Why are you back here?
I'm not quite sure why these things are falling down. I got very
Let me roll insight and see if I picked up on him. Nope. Okay, so I'm like,
I was back here looking for books.
This is not where books are. There's a library.
I'm in documentation. I was back here just looking for papers. I didn't know I was supposed to ask you everything first.
Oh, absolutely. We're the public servants, love and snod.
I understand why that's the rules now, because people could walk in here and accidentally knock things over.
Look at the work you've made for us. Get out of here.
I put a gold on the ground and just back away again. But in that like where his feet
Snod picks it up and says, you have a wonderful day.
are.
So Snod and Love are just smiling right now. They both made extra money today.
So he does his like kind of moonwalk, slide back, like make eye contact, stops at Janu and he goes, I'm sorry, I really did try.
Think in all the hubbub, they go disappear. So I turned to Gwen. Is there any kind of specific organization that they have? Alphabetical, time, anything like that?
Yes, it seemed to be alphabetical order and separated by different genres of, I guess, political paperwork. There's taxes in one section, deeds in one section, things like that.
So it's like when you were looking through it, you would have seen like it's alphabetized, and within like each section has a name of like last name, and then it goes into all the documentation on that family in dated order. So newest to oldest. So
It's the Druid decimal system.
yeah.
I change shape and kind of get out of like the tunic and everything, and look up at them and go, I will be right back. And I go to sneak into the room while they're busy picking up all the papers and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to sneak in there and try to go find that while they're distracted.
Oh, anything on the mayor?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
Jesus. Tap dancing Christ.
Stop trying to sneak in there.
That's a 9.
We're not sneaky.
They hear it.
And they go, "Oi, what are you doing back here now?"
I'm not in humanoid form, so I'm just like puddled out.
Yeah, they're like, "What? Snort, did you lose one again?" He goes, "That's not me. That's what is that?" And he goes,
It was like, I dropped everything. I don't have anything on me.
Oh my god.
"Wait, look at all this gold on the floor."
I'll go with them.
What is it?
They go, "Well, clean it up." And Sean's like, "Oh, why always get left with it? It's all right."
He goes to walk him, get him. He turns around to go grab a mop.
Well, should I try sneaking in?
I wouldn't try sneaking in, but a distraction would be great while I go try to do this again.
Let's see. Well, let's see. What would a distraction be?
What are you gonna do to distract them? You can tell me what you're gonna do, and then I'll tell you what to roll if you need to.
Just start chastising him. Why did you get lost again?
Bad grandpa.
How about I just because they're away from the counter, right? Like they're away from the
Yeah,
counter.
one's now looks like he's walking to that locked closet, and the other one,
Yep, I'm Drow.
yeah.
Maybe I'm just like, whose gold is this on the counter? Not like your gold, but just like because I've seen them get enticed with gold. Like, whose gold is this on the counter?
Oh my god, they turned my friend into a puddle.
They aren't paying attention to you at all. They one is talking to the other, picking up the mess. The other one is now walking away to mop.
I don't know that we need to even distract them.
Are they paying attention to me at all?
No, one's picking up a mess, and one's going to go get a mop to mop you up.
Oh, yeah, I then continue on, just kind of try to, what?
Oh, if you start moving, the one that was cleaning up hears the noises again, and looks at it and goes, "Wait a second."
What about you? Because you have that special skill where if they're not paying attention to you.
Why is it from there to there? And it's like moving. Wait a minute.
He starts walking your direction now, and he, with his finger coming to poke it.
I shake myself into a gelatinous cube.
How many gelatinous cubes?
Yes.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
That's pretty. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
God, you are polymath.
That is an 18.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
So
18.
18 beats his 6. He just starts running. He doesn't even warn Snod. Lub is like, "You got the rest of the shift," and takes off. "You got closing," and just takes off.
Peace.
Yeah, and Snod doesn't hear that at all. So he's still with his keys trying to find the right key to unlock the door.
So, Gwen is. I was gonna say something, but I guess God's not paying attention at all. So I'm
at
going
this
into
moment, also, Johnny, you see myself, Basil, and Solon, and the assistant mayor starting to walk out.
Oh.
With them walking out with the mayor, what do you do? Because you're the only one that can see it, because the other two are behind the desk.
1 second.
So I'm stalking after the guy going into the door.
Yeah. Okay.
Do that whenever.
Ooh.
And we are just walking straight, and you see we're walking with fervent pace.
Fervent means quickly.
Yeah,
Correct?
we're just beelining it out there, just like we did in, we're out. And you kind of see the look on the mayor's face, he looks like he's in some deep shite right now. He's head down, and you just
Sullen smiling.
Yeah, Sullen's smiling, and Basil is doing his little hop skip behind everything.
I guess we don't want to. I don't think we want to join up just because I feel like Five's a crowd, and then he might start getting really suspicious of what's going on. So I think right now Johnny's just kind of pay attention to where they're going. so they can kind of head in that direction.
They
once
leave the front door.
They leave the front door out
Yeah.
the front door.
You're inside. Yeah, you watch them leave the front door.
Probably best for your morality.
Morality's fluid.
Tender
Are,
sensibilities.
are either of them two like near me at all?
They're within the vicinity. You can see. You can watch what they're doing. You're clearly seeing what they're doing.
But if I like say something with that oh man, making the noob make a serious
What would your
choice.
character do?
What would Johnny do? Johnny do at this moment?
This is the beautiful part of character and player separation.
Half the party's walking out of the building, and the other half is one guy's behind the desk is a gelatinous cube, and the other guy's about to follow this guy into a.
Remember that don't split the party thing that we
That's-
talked about earlier?
We're splitting as many ways as you can.
One's over there. One's over there. One's here. Two are going that way.
We were like, oh, during the spa and shopping time, that's usually kind of the safe time. And now we're like,
One of them almost split themselves. So
To be fair, like
almost just split my pants.
we haven't worked together long enough to like not split the party. Like, we're just a bunch of people that kind of know each other a little bit.
I'm doing the
What
buddy
would you do?
system.
What would you do, Johnny? What would Johnny do at this moment?
I feel like he would follow y'all
Like stealthily.
stealthily. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. You just leave the other two behind.
I kind of like maybe kind of see kind of notion like hey, you know.
All right, roll. Both of y'all roll perception to see if you can see him. What's your passive perception? Actually,
14.
14. Yeah.
12.
Yeah, y'all both still see him kind of like motion at y'all to come.
I as a Cuban, pick up all my stuff and get back in my clothes and stand there like, that did not go as planned. Caca. Caca.
Gwen writes something down, tears it off, and throws it across the room.
Roll attack.
Roll dexterity.
I was gonna do a paper
Just kidding.
airplane, but I feel like it's a little advanced for this world.
1 point.
A
piercing
paper
damage.
airship, it's just a ball.
Right. Okay.
I just kind of nod, and I guess we leave with
I have no idea what's on the note, so I'm just like, what is happening?
I said he's good. Let's roll.
You're like, what the
Norm, you seem kind of like, dude, I think he stands like this. Like, kind of hands up at all times, like, doesn't really know what he's doing with himself. So he just kind of looks at you and kind of goes, and then starts rolling as a ball.
And we will end the session there.
That was money.